It's always Halloween for me.
I don't like it. Don't like it. No! No! No, 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 no.
There we go. Ah, gosh darn it.
It'd be really spooky if someone was standing there watching me.
Nope, 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 nope. Are you gonna attack it? Oh shit! He is! Oh my god, I hate you.
Oh no, she's looking at me. Oh! Ah!
Ah!
Let's be speedy. Where's my... Holy crap, there it is. Oh no. Hi.
It was straight ahead.
Fuck! No!
Oh my god! I wasn't expecting that.
Lock locker. And I don't have a key. Okay. Jesus! Don't do that again!
Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Why am I playing this? Why am I playing this? Why?
That's horror. That's horror.
Huh?
Hell no. This game is freaking me out.
That's what I'm talking about. What is going on, everyone? Welcome. Welcome, Goglings. Welcome, Gogorifics, Gog peoples throughout the world unite. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to episode 298 of Pen and Pixels. We are very close to episode 300. 298 of Pen and Pixels. It is D&D with GOG Ghosts of Saltmarsh, the first of 2 sessions this month. I hope everyone is doing well and is looking forward to some awesome D&D fun times ahead. Before we go any further, just a couple of reminders about ways to support us here on GOG.com. If you haven't done so already, please consider following us here on the channel. That is always appreciated. Also appreciated is subscribing to the channel, which allows you to get those awesome custom sub badges and emotes, DRM free naturally, that you can use everywhere across Twitch to show your support of the GOG.com community. And if you haven't already done so, please consider clicking through to our individual channels as well, because we have our individual channels and subsystems and Patreons and all that kind of good stuff. And all of that really helps us. Today we have got, of course, as I said, Ghosts of Saltmarsh, just a quick program programming note, we're going to be wrapping exactly at 7 because I have a meeting right afterwards, as do some others. But next week we will be back here with another session, and I will be back on my own channel this evening at 9 p.m. Eastern with a game with my voice team, the Our Vocalists, and we're going to be playing a game called, let me get the name right, it is called Wide Ocean Big Jacket, which I've only just heard about and which seems pretty cool, and kind of a low-key interactive novel type of thing with some cool visual novel with interactive elements. So you'll get to hear a fully voiced voice team performance of that game, and that is going to be happening tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. So definitely stop by for that on my own channel. It is a busy day here at Casa del Arv, I'll tell you right now. But right now, what we've got going on, of course, is the spectacular crew. So I'm going to unmute myself and apologize unreservedly for having interrupted them, as I may well have done. And then I'm going to unmute them, and I'm going to reveal to you right here. Wait for it. The moment has come to show you Ghost of Saltmarsh. The full crew awaits. Here they all are. They are here. They are ready to go. They are fired up and ready, I suspect. And I am excited to reveal all of this amazing crew to you. And if you have not already done so, you need to go look at the Twitter, the tweet which I retweeted. This came originally from Peripheral Mike, in which Mike explained his feelings. I should say Silvo explained his feelings about what's likely to happen. During the session today. I think that it seems a little premature to assume that what he claims is going to happen will actually happen, but you should definitely check that out because he has a very unique take on this approach, and you should definitely click that and check that out. It sounds something a little bit like this.
Na 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 na.
Rhymes with
We're
clucking bell.
completely fucked, completely fucked. We're na 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 na.
That's right, get down, chat.
We're completely fucked, completely fucked. We're na 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 na.
That I died laughing seeing that. It was tremendous. Tremendous work, of course. And I'm sure that's accurate. So we will see whether that happens. It's very catchy. I agree, Friendly Kitten. Very catchy. I will start as per usual right below me on the screen. And that, of course, is the amazing Pyron Jade. It's good to see you, Pyron. I have not yet seen, I am planning to, as soon as I get a free second, to go over and watch your stream of you punching everything that moves in Morrowind with your unarmed playthrough. The return of Punching Jade, I would say. So I'm excited for that, but I'm curious how you felt about playing it. I know you said it was satisfying, and do you wish to expound on how satisfying it really was? How did you feel about playing it, and then who are you playing today?
Yeah, last Thursday I played Morrowind unarmed, but it's not going to be a playthrough. I did continue it off stream though, and it's very satisfying to punch people and other things in Morrowind. It's
did you
very, very
punch
satisfying.
a sand strider? What do they call those? Silt strider? Silt strider?
No.
Okay.
Why would I punch a silt strider? They are wonderful.
For the lulz.
They're like the best.
Are you a monster?
The best things.
Jeez, get out of here.
No.
I just have this image you punching it going.
I just really found it dead in one of those very arid areas, and I was really sad about it. Nobody punches Soul Strider. That's bad.
That would just be bad and wrong. Who would even suggest that?
Yeah.
Who are you playing today, Pyron?
I am playing Waves Crashing Against Rocks, or as her name is.
Y'all got that?
A Kenku Paladin. And for those of you who are new, Kenkus cannot really speak. Kenkus repeat sounds that they have heard, including language. So I am using a stream deck or just describing the sounds she makes. I try to move my lips when I do so that people know that this is me. But if you hear like weird voices, it's all in your head. No, it's me. It's me with the stream deck, of course.
It's good stuff. I am very excited to hear Waves Crash Against Rocks, who... There is a very real possibility Waves Crashing Against Rocks might not have been with us this week. Last session, it was awfully close.
For those of you who missed it, the session is uploaded to YouTube, and it's called Famous Last Words.
Yes, it was. Wow. It was something else. And also very quickly, I should note that reminds me that we have just posted another and by we, I mean Fleos, has just posted another audio podcast of the Storm King's Thunder production, which involves Mike's amazing summary of the series so far, which includes the memorable moment of going Zephyros and then hearing Sephiroth and Mike going, "I said no." Which just really cracks me up every time I hear it. Anyway, that is currently live and visible, so you should go out and listen to that, and you should check out the YouTube videos as well for GOG, and you should just do all the things. You should stay home and just watch nothing but Twitch and GOG. That's I think a good thing you should do. But anyway, always a pleasure to have Pyron with us. Also, always a pleasure to have Dark Saber 2K with us. As always, Saber, thank you very much for doing Dashboard and Moobot, etc. Yes, we were just talking briefly about the way in which now the SnowRunner love is spreading so that other people, including maybe even a certain E_A on GOG.com, might have been watching and was simultaneously bored and completely fascinated by the experience. And I was like, welcome to SnowRunner. That's exactly what it is. So it was a good time. And do you want to explain what you did, Saber? Because to any sane, normal person outside of SnowRunner players, they'd be like, why would you do this? But SnowRunner players are like, oh, that was a good session right there. So like, what did you do? And then you can tell me who you're playing in this game. But
Well, it all started with a very simple premise. I'm done in Alaska. Let's go to Russia, the third progression area you move up to. Oh boy! Suddenly you're crossing only little gullies, like these tiny, not that big gullies, but enough to tip a truck over across like tiny wooden planks where like there's the slightest misalignment and over you go. So I'm gonna get a crane. So take the crane over to try and get the truck out of the gully. And you know you're in trouble when you get the crane, you attach the crane, you start lifting, and the crane goes like that. He's just like, let go, and tip it back down. So we spent it's been half an hour trying different angles to try and get this crane to be able to winch the truck out. I got fed up and decided I'm just going to try and ram the truck out of the gully, which tipped the crane over. So that's 2 trucks in the gully. So I had to recover them back to the start. And we go, all right, you know what? This route's bad. I'm going to take a different route. Go herring off down there. We go off down a different route. We lose the road. The road's like 10 feet away. And I'm like, yeah, this is bad. Now I'm on my side, but not enough for the engine to stall. So I managed to get the truck reversing in such a way that it tips itself back over. Go, hooray! Nothing can stop me. Drive 3 feet and flip over and have to restart.
SnowRunner, ladies and gentlemen.
I check the VOD. I do not make it sound as entertaining as it was to actually see. But yeah, so that was yesterday.
That was yesterday. And today you were playing.
Oh, today. Back to the Sodding Murder Mansion, which I've trademarked now. This is officially Sodding Murder Mansion.
Listen, it is
I'll be selling
the
t-shirts.
time of murders right now in Halloween, and so, you know.
Yes. We've been speculating about what we might encounter in this alchemist's lab of a nightmare, and I say if we see anything with an eyeball on its shoulder, I'm out before the self-destruct starts.
100%. We've all played Resident Evil.
Yes. But limping along, although he's faring somewhat better than at least 2 of his companions, I will be Morthoil Gagonians, dwarven artisan, and not very happy about the situation, and is mostly only keeping quiet so that people don't get murdered because he won't say yes.
Exactly. Yeah, because the situation that they face, it's going to be great. Yeah, exactly. It's like Power Wash Simulator. No, it's exactly what it's like. It's both boring and really enthralling. Awesome. I look forward to seeing how Morthwheel handles things today. Also look forward to seeing how Silvo, the creator of that incredible video that you saw, handles things as played ably by the amazing Peripheral Mike. Good to see you, Mike. Again, great work on that video. That really cracked me up. I loved it. Oh, and I'm sorry, just very quickly, that Halloween trailer, of course, that you folks saw at the very beginning of this is 100% Pyron Jade's amazing work. So you should all be giving Pyron Jade all kinds of cred for that. It is an awesome trailer, and all the streamers who are silly enough to play, who are brave enough to play horror games that contributed to it. None of whom have the name Arvin Elleron, because I don't play those games. But I am very pleased that other people do, so we could get an amazing trailer like that. But anyway, back to Mike. So great stuff on the video. It was definitely worth it. And I can't wait to see more as we go viral on Instagram and TikTok and just sell out completely. I can't wait to see more of those moments. how so good work on that, Mike. I'm curious how long it took you to do a video of that type, and who are you playing today?
I'm doing all right. The actual videos, I had far too much fun this weekend playing around. I dressed up as Silvo for about 3 hours on Sunday and just did loads of different short videos for Instagram. I'm not quite delving into TikTok just yet, but you never know. The future is uncertain. I've got about 30 videos on my phone at this point in time, so I'm going to slow drip them through the coming weeks as we go through our campaign for various situations, depending on what happens. So we'll see what happens as the campaign unfolds. Some are quite serious in regards to Silvo and maybe the magic that he has inside of his head, and some are just goofy, like the ones that I posted already. So, I'm playing the aforementioned Silvo Janus Betulus, who is a half-elven sorcerer who has been living on the streets of Saltmarsh for the past year or so, and has found himself intertwined with this group of adventurers, and the biggest party members and the strongest party members keep falling over and bleeding all over him, so he's not quite sure how to handle things.
And we're going to see an example of how all of that comes to be in very short order, actually. You're going to see more of that coming up. And you're going to see more of that with both Mike as Silvo. I'm excited to see it. And also Inanda as Brian the Bloodthirsty. I'm very excited about that. Inanda, I should have let you say who you're playing, but you can say a little more about her. But also, how are you? I hope everything is okay with you. I hope that everything is, not... I was like... No, I'm not even gonna. No, you know what? What happens in the
Not
green
the
room?
usual
Stays in
train
the green.
wreck. It normally is when we speak, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, what happens in the green room stays in the green room. I should just keep it back there. How are you doing, Ananda? How's life in the universe with you, and who you're playing?
I'm ticking along. Thank you very much. Got a busy week this week over on Twitch. In fact, it's a busy month. So I was streaming earlier on today, playing Wallace and Gromit, which is just brilliant. I love it. Then I've got streams all week, so Mass Effect, Valheim, Community Day. Over here on GOG on Saturday, I'm stepping right out of my comfort zone, and I'm going to be playing Fallout. So that's
Nice.
a new thing for me. So I'm playing Fallout New Vegas. That's all brand new for me. And then we've got the GOG Showdown on Sunday, which I am really looking forward to, even though I'm a wuss and I don't play horror games.
It is going to be
But yeah,
that's
not
what's
too
going to
bad,
make
thank
it
you.
so good, you know.
Absolutely. So I'm playing Brian the Bloodthirsty, who is a water genasi fighter. She thinks she's super brave and wants to protect people, and she's got quite a strong moral compass for a pirate. She doesn't like bullying. She still wants to protect her crew, and feels that the party is her crew, so she's quite protective. However, seems like Brian the Bloodthirsty, I really don't want to turn it into an ironic name. I would like her to stay alive for long enough to redeem herself. But yeah, she does get hurt quite often. And the blood that Silvo is covered in is Brian's.
Well, I mean, listen, bloodthirsty does not specify whose blood. I mean, you may be thirsty for your own blood, and there's
Brian,
just a
you
lot
find
of
some of your blood. There's some all over my coat.
there's a lot of
You're
blood
low.
that Brian has, you know, so I mean that's all.
Some over there. There's some over here. There's some over there.
It's like just
Plenty to go around.
parts of your blood everywhere across the world of Greyhawk. But it is a great pleasure to have Ananda with us and the whole crew. And yes, the reason that Mike posted this video in which he said we're so bleep, yes, we're so bleep, is because they are in kind of a difficult situation. So I'm going to jump us over here to the map to reveal what it is that happened as we talk about what happened in our last session. Let me just fire up the catacombs. There we go. In our last session, the following happened. So the party has been tasked with going to this place, this house, which has been rumored by the residents of Saltmarsh to be haunted. And they were given this information and told that they need to find something by Scarin Wave Chaser, who told them that if they could go there and gather this information about the house, they might be able to undercut what it is suspected is actually a smuggling operation going on inside the house. The party found on its way over there, it wasn't completely uneventful. There were things that they had to deal with, mostly dealing with giant animals of different kinds, giant snakes, giant weasels, etc. But they did manage to get through that and enter the house, only to discover that there were a lot of things that were indeed seemingly spooky about the house. Shrieks and screams and weird-looking things and all this kind of stuff. And when the party came down into the basement, basically, of this place, they discovered, in fact, that there were other people there, that there were actually people there, some of whom tried to ambush them, although unsuccessfully. And the party eventually made its way, after definitively saying they wanted nothing to do with the room up here, because it said something like, I don't remember, only the creatures of death walk here, or something scary like that.
Dead open inside.
Yeah, it was totally fine. I mean, I'm sure it was fine. That was right here. So instead, they decided to go down here instead into these caverns. And when they went all the way there, they managed to find there were a group of other people, specifically, apparently, pirates, who immediately after their attempts to negotiate with the pirates' leader, about which more in a moment, failed. The person that they were trying to negotiate with, this smuggler, is a guy named Sanballat, who was not only arrogant, but also apparently has the power to back it up. And the party actually reached a very, very difficult spot where it was quite a real possibility. And in fact, there was the case that Waves would not have survived the combat were it not for and I think it might have been Tim Coolish who did this, either Tim Coolish or Timaeus, who actually did an inspiration and inspired just in time. It was official. We checked it on the replay, and was able to inspire Waves, who did not ultimately die as a result of it. But they were pretty messed up even so. And so the party eventually decided that they were going to surrender because they weren't going to survive otherwise. And so the very injured Waves, the fairly injured Brine, who was also, out unconscious for part of this, and then Silvo and Morthwheel, who is still, let it be known, somewhat injured, a fair bit. They began speaking with Sanballat. And what Sanballat explained is that he had come here for a particular reason, that he had come looking for an item, an artifact that was supposedly held by the alchemist who had previously owned this home sometime in the past. And so, because he doesn't want to risk his own people, and because he suspects that there's something more to some of the party members, he seems to keep looking at Silvo as he says this, but he suggests that all of them have something more about them than they might perhaps even know themselves, that he wants to basically employ them to find this artifact within the house. And to solidify their loyalties, he actually gave this potion to all of them, which did help heal the party, which was really, a lot of the party members were on the edge of death, but also which had an unfortunate side effect, according to him. And that is that if you do not, he said, do what I tell you to do within 24 hours, this thing which I've given you, which is actually a slow-acting poison, will complete its work and you will be dead, and he will give you the antidote. If, under those circumstances, he will give you the antidote, if you were able to do his work and return to him as a result. So that's the situation that we see. The party is currently in the room after Sanballat has given them this ultimatum. And the only one who seems to be, and the one who's been most defiant about all this has been Morthwheel. But Morthwheel himself, as he said, has been trying to avoid an all-out war. And so there's all that's going on. So inspirations are still available. Oh, also, I should say thank you to Echo Alpha X5 for gifting a sub to Peripheral Mike, by the way, in GOG.com's channel. So thank you, Echo. That should be noted. All my GOG alerts, it did go off on my channel, but that was on the other screen. So GOG alerts officially are on. So any subscriptions or follows will be noted for the public record. So with that information available to us, Sanballat telling them that you have to look for this artifact, I am now going to hand things back over to the party and ask them what they would like to do. Several of the smugglers have gone into the southern passage that you see that's kind of shadowed off below Morthwheel, but they are not far away. And Sanballat himself, of course, is standing right there. And incidentally, Sanballat obviously is a sorcerer of some significant, or wizard of some significant power, having magic missiled and done other things to these characters. So he does seem to have a considerable amount of might. So, with all that said, Party, I'm going to hand things over to you. What would you like to do?
What do we know about the thing that Sambalat wanted us to search for? Because I don't remember the details of what he gave us about it, like the
I think
information.
he didn't give us specifics. He literally just said, "There's a thing here. I want
He doesn't
thing.
know.
You go find thing."
Yeah.
Right. He just knows that there
He
was
doesn't
something
know.
of legendary magical power that was possessed by this alchemist that he wants for his own experiments, mostly to, like, you know, you get the impression like it's got magical qualities that, and he would drain them qualities or do something with the magic of it. But he doesn't know what exactly it is. It's just it's supposed to be somewhere in this house and he can sense it, allegedly.
So
He
I'm
can
going to send
sense it.
Sambalat.
That's what he says.
Can I just double check some backstory as well?
Sure.
Okay, so when we first came in here, I think it was Silvo. I was unconscious along with, and it was Silvo talking to Sanballat to try and basically like negotiate for our lives.
Basically, that's right.
Yeah, but when he didn't introduce himself by his name and didn't give our names, is that correct?
So he gave Morthwheel was called Piatto, and they had that nickname. I don't remember if everyone else was given also a pseudonym. I don't recall. I know that Morthwheel was, but I don't know.
No, I said that there was the bird and the pirate and something like Piatto, something. I was like, I'm not great with names. I'm not sticking around for much longer.
Okay. I don't remember you calling Brian the pirate. I thought it was like seaweed or something, but
Oh
yeah,
no,
okay.
you're
But
right. Yeah, I think it was like something like the deadly seaweed or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's right.
But we're all conscious now, and is Sambalat the only person in here?
Yes, although the other people are like right nearby in the southern passageway, down right about here. They're nearby, and there's at least a couple. There might be a couple more, but there's at least 2 or 3. You did actually kill a couple of them, but there were more where that came from, apparently.
Mm.
Okay. What are we?
You're in
We
control.
obviously can't discuss this between ourselves because we're in earshot, and I know that Silvo has got telepathy, but I don't think I can speak back to him. So I'm going to kind of stand up and like crick my neck and step forward because he's introduced himself as a pirate now. So what I want to do is like get up to my full height and not draw my swords, but just like open my coat a little bit so he can see that I'm armed. Not that he doesn't know that because they knocked me out like 10 minutes ago. And say, I don't think we've been properly introduced. It's not the way to treat a fellow pirate. We were told that there were slavers here. Now, if you're anything like my pirate captain, slavery is not to be tolerated on any of the seas. Let me introduce myself. I'm Brian the Bloodthirsty, and I'm going to walk forward with like palms open so that he can see I'm not holding anything, and introduce myself. Now I have, but I'm also going to say, I don't think that you quite need the means that you're trying to adopt with us. These are my crew. These are my pirates. You only had to ask for help. We were trying to save some slaves. So how about you do yourself a favor and give us the antidote now, and we'll go and try and find this artifact.
And so Sambalat kind of smiles, his arms folded, and he says, I am most glad to see that you understand the significance of your crew. Perhaps then you will also understand the significance of me not wishing more of mine to die at the hands of yours. So no, I will hold on to this antidote, thank you. In my line of work, and I'm sure yours as a pirate, leverage is important. However, I do appreciate the introduction, Brian the Bloodthirsty. I have heard that name before, in fact, and it's good to see that everyone is using their real names right now in this encounter. Mutual trust is very important, I'd say.
I'm glad to hear it, but I mean, I don't think you'll quite understand what I'm saying. I mean, we are brethren, surely, and you've heard of me. Surely you can trust that my word is my bond.
I would trust this were true if I were a pirate, but I'm afraid you've misrepresented who I am. I am... I'm not a thief. I'm an exceptional thief, and since I'm moving up to kidnapping, you should be more polite. I'm sorry. I watched Die Hard about a week and a half ago, and it's just suddenly Alan Rickman appears in Channel Saltmarsh. That's not exactly what he says, but he does say, "I am not a pirate. I am glad to hear that you have an understanding, of course, of business matters. This is, in fact, a business interaction, a business decision. My code is that I do what I'll say I'll do. And so if I say that you'll be dead within 24 hours if you don't do what I ask, that's exactly what I mean. It's also what I mean when I say that when you return the artifact to me, I will happily give you the antidote. And I have self-interest here, by the way. I'll give you this antidote largely because then I might be able to use you for further endeavors. I've already mentioned that the people of Saltmarsh have been misleading you all this time. Look at you, all of you." And he kind of, glances from Silvo to Morthwheel to Waves back to Brine. And he says, "All of you have been treated as outsiders in that village, as secondary characters, as one who aren't even that important. Why would you give up your time and attention and risk your lives for them? I will give you something which is more tangible. I'll give you financial benefit. And I'll do so multiple times. If you're proven to be worthy, then it will be worth my while to hire you again. You have a steady source of income. Certainly some of you," and his eyes flicker over to you, Silvo, "some of you know what it's like to work for people. I promise you I will be an excellent employer."
At this point, Morthwheel takes his pipe out of his mouth and points it at Sambalet? Hang on,
it's Sambalet.
Yes, it's on the map. Yeah, I was just had to move the video so I could see it. Points it at Sambalet. He's like, "You may be speaking the truth of the villagers. You may be not. But they've never poisoned me to get me to do their bidding."
And he nods slowly and he says, "Yes, well, the villagers, of course, have never been seen to be preparing ahead of time. I like to plan for contingencies."
You're not making this as attractive as you could. I mean, this is not the right way to start a working relationship. I think that my crew deserves slightly more respect. We came in here thinking you were slavers, which I think we can all agree would have warranted a few deaths along the way. Now we're more enlightened. I think that maybe this working relationship could get off onto a better first foot.
I think the best possible first foot is one in which I clearly have the upper position. At the moment, I know only of you that you've been sent by the town and that you've killed several of my men, and that, to me, makes you a risk. It's the reason that I've decided to make attractive to you, as you put it, the prospect of preserving your own lives. I would imagine that would be attractive enough. Although, judging from the experience I just had, it seems that your lives are partially cheap to you. And he kind of looks over at you, looks at you, Brian, and looks over at Waves, and he smiles and he says, "For example, your Kenku there came quite close to the end of all things, I believe. And, well, that would have been an unfortunate circumstance, wouldn't it? I think that a value of life should really be at the foremost consideration of her mind now. At least one would hope so.
How do we
Silver
know
just kind
you're
of
in
laughs
possession of this
under his breath.
antidote? Sorry,
You-
Silvo.
No, no, sorry.
Say it again.
I was going to say Silver just kind of laughs under his breath.
Okay. Go ahead, Brian. Say that again.
How do we know you're actually in possession of this antidote?
You don't. But the nice thing to know is that I, as I said, will want to use you again, and that means that I don't want you dead. I don't have necromantic abilities, more's the pity. So, I need you alive, and as long as I need you alive, then you'll be getting your antidote. This, of course, assumes that you do the job. If you fail, or leave to go elsewhere, well, then you weren't the right employees in the first place.
You can tell you guys have never done a deal on this side of town before.
And he
Silver
looks
just
over
sat
you,
there
Silvo, he says,
picking his nails with his knife.
he looks over you, Silvo, and he says, you know something, of course, of dealing with the less legally public elements of the town, do you?
So Silver hops off of his barrel and he kind of walks over to between Sanballat and the rest of the party. And he kind of points, and he still has his knife out at this point. It's like, so here's the rub. We work for him, we live. We do more work for him, we live. We leave, we die. We cross him, we die. This isn't a choice, this is a lack of options in this part of the woods. So, as much as we may hate this, this is no different than how you survive sometimes in Saltmarsh.
So much wisdom for someone so young. It's such a pleasure to see the younger generation making such a name for themselves. And he looks over, actually, he does that, and then he looks over at you, Morthwheel, and grins.
Morthwheel's just giving him stink eye at the moment.
I assumed as much, yes.
That squint that only a dwarf can do. Just
Yep.
Squint that closes the whole face. Just. So Sambalat, you don't know what this artifact is. Do you know where it is? Because you can sense it.
Well, that's a good question. I know that it is somewhere in the area of the house, and I know that it's not, at least, in the caverns. There aren't too much more to them than the ones you've already seen. It's in somewhere in the house proper. There is, of course, that one room near where I keep my own quarters, and that seems to have something back there, but I don't know whether it's the right thing. I know that it's within some radius of this particular house, within the house someplace, but I don't think it's on the first floor. We've spent a lot of time there. Could be on the second, although I thought I explored everything there. The point is I've searched already, and yet I didn't find what I was looking for, which indicates that it is somehow concealed, hidden, perhaps magically. One of the reasons I'm looking at you is that you managed to find your way into a hidden, concealed area, and it seems like you're good at doing those things.
Well, as you said, I've had experience in these situations before, so you have... He's completely ignoring the fact that he found this entrance by pure luck and panic. So you have explored basically the rest of the house, you and your men. You camp out here, right? But you don't go in the bolted-off door, correct?
We have not done so as of yet. I was planning on some different options as to how to do so. I should say that there are strange portions of this house, and it is possible that some have overlooked my notice. I do have quite a full-time occupation managing the operation that we conduct ourselves with here, and so it's possible that something might have pissed under my notice.
we may be scavengers like yourselves, don't know an alembic from your ass.
And he grins again. He says, possible. I expect then it will be your job to find where we've placed, as you put it, our ass. And he just sort of folds his arms and looks at you.
On that topic,
On
when
my ass?
we no, well, on things that we should be finding, and possibly your ass, I don't know. I'm not going to inquire. When we entered this household, there was an ear-splitting scream. Now, it would have scared some people, not us. We were fine. However, I just wanted to know, are there any other areas of this house that have similar wards or potential pitfalls that you might like to tell us about before we embark?
Morthor goes, I think she's referring to this, and I hold up my stone.
Um,
And and Brian's immediately going to like jump and then try and just like style it out and play it cool, like she absolutely meant to do it all along.
And he says, well, I don't have any particular other areas. You might have noticed that area. That was a little bit of a creation of my own, just to add a little warning, let us say, to those who might have some interest in exploring places where they shouldn't. But there's no accounting for stubbornness on the part of some who would overcome that warning. In any case, no, I cannot think of any particular wards of that kind, but I will warn you that the second floor of the house, the top floor, is somewhat dangerous to traverse. It has, through long years of weather exposure, rotted somewhat, and there may be areas of the floor which are less stable than others. I certainly would not want you to fall and hurt yourselves. You might be knocked unconscious, or perhaps break a leg, and be incapable of coming down to reach me as the poison flowed through your system. I have no wish to see your lives slowly and painfully expire, when I could use you for my own purposes. So, be careful. Look before you leap, as they say.
Duly noted. I'm looking at for the reaction, because I know that this is not going to sit very well, particularly with the moral compass that Waves has for a reaction.
Waves has been sitting very, very still and apparently tries to appear stupid. So she looks around like beady eyes, like she doesn't really understand what's going on here. So far, Sambalet has ignored her, and that seems to be working out for her.
Okay. I'm going to glance at Silvo and then Morthwill for a reaction.
Oh, find the thing. We live to fight another day. And we may even get paid for it. I don't see a problem with this.
Brian is inwardly seething. So through gritted teeth, she's going to go, well, I'm going to tap, because obviously I noted the reaction. I'm going to tap Waves on the shoulder and look at her in the face. So like I'm making actual eye contact just to keep perpetuating that kind of facade that she needs slight more care and attention. So I'm going to look straight in the eye and say, come on, we're going this way. And I'm pointing, like she might not understand what I'm saying, but I'm articulating the direction that we're going to go in. And then look, like glance over my shoulder as I'm going to head out.
Okay. So what is is the rest of the party going to follow along then and do that? How is the rest of the party going to react to stuff?
I was unarmed, so I will stand up and then I'm like patting my clothes in confusion. Like,
yeah, where is Waves' sword at the minute? Is it just on the ground where she fell?
I believe it was moved over to where Sambalet is, but Sambalet kind of kicks the sword over to you. And says, there you are, your weapon. Make sure that you use it efficiently. I would hate to see you struggle for breath again.
I'm going to pick the sword up for Waves. I'm like, in case, like, again, perpetuating things, I'm going to pick up the sword for Waves and put it like in her hand and close the hand around it and then kind of carry on.
Okay.
I exaggerate like my bird movement, like this head tilting and stuff, and store the rapier away.
Okay.
I'm gonna hang back.
Morthwill's staying. He's not leaving Silvo alone.
Okay.
Not necessarily for Silvo's protection.
No, that's fair. That's fair. So I'm gonna stand next to Sambalet for a second, and let presumably the rest of the party do what they're doing.
Okay, I'm going to head towards the entrance and just go out of sight to around here.
Okay.
I strut after Brian.
Okay, so the two of you can move those tokens there. Silvo, when you get close to Sanballat, one thing that you notice is there's a kind of, even next to him, he kind of looks down at you steadily, but there's a kind of almost like static electricity as you're near him, like a feeling of energy that you're sensing, clearly magically sensing through this.
So, now we have a degree of privacy. I have a sensitive matter that I'd like to talk to you about, if you would permit me, sir.
Morthwell's trying to listen in.
And he says, very well, if it won't take too long. I am, of course, on a schedule. What is it?
Absolutely. I just glance over to Morthwell a second, because I'm kind of facing sideways to Sanballat, so I'm not facing away from Morthwell, but I'll kind of glance over to Morthwell, and if you'll allow me as a bonus action, I'd like to telepathically speak to Morthwell one sentence, or just a few words.
I think you can do that.
Cool. Keep it up. So I look back at Sanballat and I say, so I'm an entrepreneur of various unwanted tasks within Saltmarsh. It's a curse. I'm burdened with glorious purpose in this place. However, I do appear to be sidled in the wrong camp at this current moment in time, and I don't know if, as a purveyor of the magical arts, you might be a better mentor than my current employer, which has a similar situation held over my head through stupidity and false action on myself. I speak, of course, of the Viper Sisters, who you probably already know about.
Yes.
I am in debt with them for a reasonably large amount, and to pay off that debt, I have been performing certain tasks for them. One of them was to come here and essentially take anything that was shiny and not nailed down back to them so that I could start to pay off my debt. I, however, feel that, and I kind of get a little bit closer to him, under your tutelage, I could become something far more. And by your side, I'm aware you have very committed people who are loyal to you. And I lean in almost to a whisper and I say, but with the right amount of tutelage, I could be your weapon in this endeavor, your wrath even. And I lean back slightly.
And he says, I see. And are your party members, and he kind of, jerks his head at Morthwell, on board with your desire for mentorship?
I believe that they would be on board with my desire to control what is inside of me, rather than it escaping at inopportune moments. And if one of those moments were by somebody else's side, or even by your side, if this power were to escape and I weren't able to control it properly, as I'm not at the moment, that could have dire consequences for all involved.
So he looks over, and I'm curious, Morthwell, if I assume you're keeping your voice low, but not so low that Morthwell couldn't hear this, Silva?
Yes, that's
Okay.
very true. So if he were listening, he'd hear it, but I want to kind of exaggerate the fact that I'm leaning in and I'm whispering, but I'm whispering not loudly, but I'm not exactly sort of covering my hand. I'm not talking telepathically, so I'm saying it out loud so Morthwell could hear me if he tried, but I'm not trying to make it obvious that I'm not trying to hide it.
Morthwell, is there an outward or reaction to hearing about this thing inside that could come out or anything?
If you're looking over at him, he's currently just sitting back against the wall, puffing on his pipe. Mm-hmm. If he is taking anything in, he's not reacting to it currently.
Okay. So Sanballat's eyes, gaze flickers over to you for a bit, Morthwell, and then looks back and says, I see. You've been venturing with your party without telling them of this loss that you experienced, this loss of control, of agency?
Yeah, it's not something I really like to think about, but it's something that has happened in the past, and it happened recently. Actually, it happened outside this mansion, so it's something I would like to get under control, and one of the reasons I came here was to find a wizard to cure me of my affliction, and I'm not at that point yet, but I'm hoping you may be that wizard.
I'm curious as to why you would want this cured, as you put it. Why remove something of great power? If it gives you the ability to control others, why take that power away out of some misguided fear or misunderstanding?
It hurt people that I love, and I don't.
You need to stop thinking about them, friend. The longer you think about people you love, the longer you make unreasonable attachments, and unreasonable attachments lead to mistake, and mistakes lead to death. The only way to manage is to keep yourself focused on, well, yourself. Mutual business relationships, not relationships of loyalty or care or love. Now look at what just happened here. Your people killed some of mine. If I had this love, this attachment that you declare, I would have killed you on the spot. I would have raged. I would have defied the gods themselves, asked them to bring back the dead. But because I understand the nature of the world and the nature of reality, instead I see a possibility, an opportunity for advancement. I do not let my emotions rule me. You need to learn to not let your emotions rule you.
I need help with that, and I think that working with yourself would be helpful for me. But I need an assurance that I'm not going to be held accountable to the Viper Sisters. So maybe we could work something out. Maybe you give me some extra jobs around the place and I can earn some more money so that I can pay them off and get them off my back.
So he looks at you seriously and he says, how about this then? Let's see how you do in finding my artifact. If you do and you bring it back to me intact, and you can do so without your party second double-crossing or backstabbing me, if you're able to do that and bring things back, then after I give you the antidote, we'll see whether or not there's something I can do about your affliction. I am certainly willing to help those who are loyal to me, but it must begin there. First, you must do what I ask. Then we'll discuss the reward for the act.
I kind of bow my head and say, as you wish. And I start to leave the chamber. As I get about here, I'm just going to turn back and say, it would probably be in a lot of people's interest if, because as you know, we're pretty exhausted at this point. Maybe some of your men could come with us, 1 or 2 of them, just to keep an eye on us, maybe help us if there's anything, dangerous. And it also ensures that we don't just run away.
And he says, as for the running away, I believe that I have given you an incentive to remain. And for the rest of it, I would send members of my own retinue with you, but unfortunately you've seen fit to remove some of them. At this point, until I get some more people as reinforcements, I can't take the chance of losing more men. So I'm afraid you're going to have to do this on your own. If you leave, and leave without the antidote, you'll die. If not, you'll receive the antidote, you'll live to fight another day, and you'll have earned my appreciation. I think that makes the most sense all the way around, don't you?
Silver just tucks his hands into his coat pocket, kind of wraps his arms around him a little bit, sort of wraps his coat around him and goes, well, I guess we kind of walked into that one, huh?
Yes, I guess you did. And he kind of looks around the room that you all just literally walked into. He says, now, see if you can walk your way into my item, please.
On it, and I leave moving towards Morthwell. As
Yeah,
I get
now it's up to
more, there
Morthwell,
is
who's
a-
still standing there.
Yeah. I just stop as I'm walking. There's a subtle nod that I give him.
Morthwell just, and I don't want to say glare, but it probably on a dwarf would be not much difference from how he's looking at the moment.
Resting
So,
Like
his
his,
face.
Yeah, it's like
dwarf intensifies, right? Like you know,
he's definitely not smiling.
his beard becomes more beardly, like somehow. You know.
He doesn't look mad. He just looks disappointed.
It's not
So,
far off.
Are you
actually,
going to
yeah.
leave with Silvo, or are you blocking his way?
Once Silver walks past me, I get up and walk after him.
Okay.
Yup.
So you join.
A stone close to where he's sitting immediately starts to stink like an outhouse that hasn't been cleaned in 2 weeks.
So as you're walking down the corridor, at one point you see, "Oh, one of you get in here. There's something to. You haven't been using the back of this room for something you shouldn't have you? Come in. Come here." You hear as you're sort of walking away. And Waves and Brian, you see Silvo and Morthwell join you. Morthwell looking, I don't know if Morthwell is chuckling over his little joke or if he's looking grim over the interaction. And then, of course, Silvo. So you were all back together again.
I'm going to turn to Morthwell and Silvo and say, did you have anything interesting to chat about? Anything we should know?
Not here. I look over Waves, and I'm gonna place my hand on Waves' shoulder and ask, "Are you okay?"
Nods.
All right, cool. There's a light tap on the shoulder, and over to Brian. I'll kind of walk over here and go, "And what about you, big one? Are you holding up?"
Well, I'm not exactly rosy and feeling the wind in my hair. I feel backed into a corner. I don't particularly like it, but
Yeah.
I mean, the alternative is death. So I don't think we've got much of a choice. Maybe we can find somewhere to take a nap before we go in.
I don't know. Well, maybe a short nap. Yeah, I'm not sure if we'll get a solid few hours in, but I think a short nap might be a good shout. But I just want to get out of the cave system first.
We don't rightly know if this poison will debilitate us as it proceeds either.
Yeah,
This is true.
We're kind of on the clock. I start walking towards the exit, just in a casual manner. I'm not like stomping or storming or anything like that. Just this is the way that we need to go, so I'm going to go this way. I don't know if anybody else wants to go in any directions.
Waste tries to overtake you to finally make sure we're going to the danger door.
I'm happy to. I'm following. Out.
Do you do anything when you pass Silvo? Waves? Do
No,
you
I
kind of
just
trot
like
past?
walk a bit
Okay.
faster to like overtake you, so we can finally go to the danger door. I would like to say
Okay,
that the
cool.
danger door might have been the better option from the start.
Yeah, no, if you just listen to
Oh,
me, if you had just
yes,
listened to me, I mean, listen to me, then.
So,
we're not
if
in
people
initiative
follow
or
me,
anything.
I'll walk towards the danger door.
Okay,
Okay, cool.
sounds good.
I am going to stop at about this point. Oh, hang on. Oh, no, there was a lever to open that door, wasn't there?
There is, yes. Welcome, by the way, Raiders from Sunatram86. Welcome, everybody.
I think I was the only one who knew, but we'll just assume I've just gone boom, opened it, walked through.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's no one in here, is there?
There is not. In this room, there is, right to the north is where you folks spent a little bit of time, you may remember, sort of trying to get rested and kind of recovered as best you could over here. In what may very well be Sanballet's quarters. And
I stole his porn.
And over here, exactly, and over here, that's right.
Oh, God, I forgot about
That's right, the erotic poetry. And over
Sorry, I
here...
stole everything else.
is
Should have been
the
reading
door
that while the
has the-
conversation was going on, see if you noticed.
That's right, that's exactly right.
Centerfold thing just flips out.
He's like, give me that. No, we'll see what he would have said.
I read the articles.
Yeah, exactly.
I read the articles. It's very interesting.
Really good political commentary on the state of. Okay, so the door that you see to the east, just as a quick reminder, so it is barred, right? And the word danger is scrawled on the door.
I point towards the door and say,
I didn't hear anything.
Didn't hear anything.
I didn't hear that.
"Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's not easy to set up. I'm sorry.
That's
This
right.
was completely my fault." I try again. I point at the door and say,
They look
No, I
at you
didn't hear
blankly.
anything. That's
Still no
on my bad.
sound.
Yeah.
"Oh wait, it just switched it to the wrong thing again. Why?" Okay, don't
Because
try.
it doesn't want to
get
know.
this.
I point at the door and
No rest,
Play the door.
no peace
No,
for
I
this
can't.
wretched soul.
Nope.
I heard it
yeah, we
that
heard
time.
that time.
Excellent.
Yes, nice.
Excellent
darkest
choice of sound.
dungeon.
Excellent.
I'm gonna just say to maybe we just need to catch our breath before we venture into the danger door. I completely agree that might be what we need to do, but maybe we need to just prepare a little bit before we go in there.
Silver's making a weird hand motion, and he looks like he's trying to file people into Sambalet's quarters, but without actually saying anything. There's sort of like a.
Okay.
All right, well, Brian's happy to go. She's like,
Waves
what?
looks at the danger door. Then we
in
could
a
finally
minute,
get through
I
now.
swear. in a minute,
Mortho
I
looks at
swear.
Waves and just goes, I have heard it said that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer, although it's been rather much quicker in our case.
I give him a look and walk into the quarters where Silver beckons.
Okay, so I'm going to get everyone in this room a second and then shut the door, so if everyone wants to just pop their figures in the room.
Okay.
Mortho sits in the chair.
All right. Taking you up your practiced positions.
Okay, so I close the door and turn around and immediately say, okay, there's probably some things I need to tell you.
Hey, Mike.
Right.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. You're a little quiet. Can you come up a bit?
Is that better?
Yes, much better. Thank
That's
you.
better.
Yeah, there we go. Cool. Yeah, I kind of I look down at everyone and sort of say, well, I don't look down, I'm not floating, but like I look over at everyone and I say, well, there's probably some stuff that I need to let you guys know about. Full disclosure, I'm also working for a different criminal organization at the moment because I'm kind of in deep with them, and if I don't do what they're telling me to, they're going to take my legs. Their words, not mine. They're called the Viper Sisters. They're super creepy. I've absolutely no idea if they're actually going to kill me or not, but I kind of accidentally broke the arm of their bodyguard. The thing that happened when we were in the garden with the thing, yeah, so I kind of accidentally found myself in their territory. Long story short, an orc attacked me, and yeah, I kind of attacked back but didn't realize I was doing it. So yeah, I've kind of been in this situation before. I don't think we should give this dude what he wants, but I think we should probably just play along at the minute until we can get out.
Would it be safe to assume Morthoils knows of the Viper Sisters
Absolutely.
reasonably well?
It is not, and it is not a good association. I mean, I should let me
Sails through his teeth like.
Yeah, let me rephrase that. I don't want to like make you be like, you would obviously hate Silvo. I mean
No,
that
no.
you know that the Viper Sisters are involved in a lot of bad stuff in town, and that it's
I
always.
look at Silver. No, I'm kidding.
You've never, and despite the length of time you know about them, you've never
Enter
seen.
initiative.
You've never actually seen them. And there's all these kind of rumors around what the Viper Sisters are and what they look like and all that kind of stuff. But yes, you've heard the name before for sure.
We roam in different circles.
Yes.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah, you
so.
do not attend the same clubs.
Yeah. So I'm in some very horrible situations, and I've done some odd jobs for some questionably shady people. Hence why I didn't really want to go into the what was the name of the pub we went into? The shady one, was it the Empty Net?
I think it might have been the Empty Net. I think that's right.
The Empty Net, yeah. I've done a couple of bits and pieces for some people in the Empty Net, and long story short, may have ripped them off a couple of times. So, yeah, this situation isn't perfect, but I also know that as a group, we're kind of all in this together. What I think we should probably do is try and find whatever this creepy ass wizard man is looking for. As much as I want to find out about magic, I don't really want to turn into an evil wizard. So yeah, this guy's not for me. So anything we can do to just get out of here right now, that'd be great. But we do need that antidote. So, but now you guys know you probably don't trust me, and I don't blame you. I'm an untrustworthy dude. But the one thing you can trust is that I am probably untrustworthy. So make of that what you will. And Silver just starts like pacing like around the room, and he's just like, I don't even know how I got in this situation. I just came here to find a wizard. I just came here for a cure, and now I'm poisoned and I'm going to die. And there's a Kenku who keeps falling over, and I'm covered in pirate blood, and I don't know what's going to happen.
At the
I'm
mention of the
clearly
wizard,
taking
Northoil
it back
goes,
at the mention of falling over all the time.
Whereas Brian just like just nods and yeah, that's fair.
Brian's just like,
it's a
yeah,
fair
fair,
cop.
you are covered in my blood.
You know what? I grabbed Silver's shoulder and tried to stop his pacing and look him in the face and say,
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I really wish I knew what that meant. I'm freaking out here, people. I have never been in this situation before. I talk a big game, but I'm really not very good at this shit. Okay? I'm not good at this. I just don't want to die here in this house.
How do you think I feel? I've been fixing frying pans for 100 years.
I got off the boat to try and get out of this nonsense. All I wanted was some money and some information. But we are in this together, and I'm not about to leave my crew behind. So on a scale of 1 to the depths of the briny, as in the briny sea, not me, how much trouble are we in with the Viper Sisters?
You guys aren't in trouble with the Viper Sisters. I'm in deep with the Viper Sisters, and I owe them a lot of money. That's on me. I'm not dragging you guys into this. I may be a cold-hearted son of a bitch sometimes, but I'm not dragging people down with me if it's my cop. Like,
yeah, Morgul points at Silver and
that.
he's like, if he's in trouble with the Viper Sisters, he's probably in trouble. I know enough about them to know I don't want to know anything about them.
Well, first thing I knew about them was when I was beaten unconscious and dragged in front of a hooded figure in a room full of incense outside of town, and I was told that I now worked for them. That was it. I need to pay off my debt, otherwise I could find myself sinking to the bottom of the ocean by the next morning. And you don't really say no to that sort of offer. Like, it's the sort of offer we've just been given: do it or die. So sometimes you just have to do what you do to survive. And
all right, I have a different question for you guys. I'm not dismissing what you've said, Silvo, but we need to get out of the situation that we're in now, and we are all in this together. Does anybody know anything about the concoction that myself and Waze were given?
We all had the same potion.
Does anyone recognize it? Do you recognize the taste? Does anyone know anything about poisons?
I don't know. It just tastes like
Morthoil might have
thick
basic alchemy knowledge from like basic artificer education. It's gonna have to be up to the DM if there's anything check I can make to see.
Waves is a paladin with quite some skill in medicine.
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
we could potentially try and recreate a antidote ourselves if we can find out what the poison is.
So the information as far as Waves and Morthwill are concerned is both of you would know that it's possible to make, not always possible, but it's often possible to make antidotes for various things. The issue is time. If it's true that it is as quickly acting, like 24 hours as they say, it seems very unlikely that they'd be able to just find it. So you could start like just, knocking back antidotes like they're going out of style, hoping that you get the right one. But if you're wrong, you're not going to know it until you get close to the 24-hour period, and there's no coming back after it. So the other question, of course, it definitely tasted different. It was more viscous for one thing in texture, but also it just tasted a little bit different than what a normal potion of healing did. It unquestionably healed you. Like, there's no question that you were healed a little bit, but it definitely was not kind of the normal feeling of what it would be in those circumstances. So there's no real way to know exactly what kind of poison it is without enough time to do so. It's also possible that you could find a really powerful priest or someone like that might be able to heal you, because certainly some priests have great skill with disease. But even Waves, your knowledge of healing is not something that would give you enough knowledge of this, because you're kind of shooting in the dark, right? You're just hoping that you get the right actual poison. And Morthwill, as I said, you know enough to know about the consistency was not like a normal healing potion, etc. But you also know that it is not easy most of the time to be able to figure things out without a little bit more time than you probably have. And you don't know of anybody, I'll say this for Morthwill, you or Silvo don't know anybody in Saltmarsh that have the kind of level of healing or knowledge that would be necessary. It is possible you could go back and talk to your employer, speak to Scarin or whatever, and see if he could talk to the council or whatever, but this is all things that take time that you have to consider. So
as a paladin, would I feel that a magic spell that said something like cure a disease or neutralize a poison might help me?
Maybe, but the neutralize a poison thing, it might be effective, yes. It's possible, but you would need to be able to cast that multiple times, because I don't think it's something which is an area effect poison cure.
No, I'm talking about myself here. I'm talking about myself.
Just about you. Yeah, you're like,
person.
listen, never mind all of you, I'm out. No,
screw those guys.
It's possible.
Well, I can't help anybody if I'm dead. So
No, exactly.
You need to...
It is possible, yes.
Okay.
So
I don't have anything like that, but just in case I had after a long rest.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So we can't take a long rest. We can't rest for very long, Morthwill.
Sorry. So I've just realised I've got Dwarven Resistance, which does give me resistance to poisons.
Yeah, right. And if you were immune to poison, this would be a different matter. But resistance is not going to affect this, because it's not actually doing any hit point damage to you or anything like that right now. It is.
You just get Seers die first.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, so that is the path that will be.
You're just like, oh, I've got to look forward to this in 6 hours. Oh dear.
I also want to put out there, just for the party in general, that it is conceivable also that this is a bunch of absolute BS, and that you haven't been given anything except like some, liquid that doesn't taste quite like healing. It is 100% factual that you've been healed. I mean, that happened. But it's possible that he's completely making all of this up. However, given the power that he displayed, it certainly seemed like he was able to back up his talk in other ways. But it's possible that this is not true and he didn't do this. That at all, you're not poisoned. Could be.
Okay. Bet your life.
Right, exactly. Quite a gamble.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I stare at Silver to see if he's done now, and then point towards the door.
Yeah, I'm just. There's a moment where Silver's just like, well, let's do this then.
We not short resting then?
The thrill of the hunt. The promise of payment.
Nice. Quick note that you could take a short rest. That's still available to you if you wish. Long rest, however,
short rest
is up to you. But
I think a short rest.
Full HP and no spells is better than half HP and no spells.
I agree.
But don't
What about
we
yourself,
have
Waves?
used our hit dice already?
I haven't. I don't know about the others. Oh, you two might have.
Some did, yes. Some did, yes, but not Morthwill. Were there any healing things left? Or I think you've used them, right, Morthwill and stuff? Yeah.
That was part of my spells. Yeah.
Right. I mean, the other. Well, I don't want to. Okay, party has to decide what it
I
wants
still
to.
have my
Party
I
has
still
to
have
decide
my
what
hit
it
dice
wants to do.
noted here.
No, we'll take a hint at this point.
No. Well, see, yeah, because I don't want to be like that guy. Like, oh, do this instead, because I'm literally there's multiple avenues you could take. There are other parts of the house. I literally am saying that I literally don't know if there is a healing something to be found somewhere. Okay, I literally don't know. It could also be a complete and utter waste of time that will do nothing. But that's another thing if you're worried about there being some kind of stuff. Also, maybe there's nobody on the other side of that door and it's fine. So like
Except the vague sense of the undead that happened last session.
That's true.
Yes, apart from that, it's fine. Other than that, what has this house ever done to us?
I mean, are undead always hostile all the time? Or maybe it's a friendly ghost. It'd still be undead.
He opened the door
Not
and it's
used
just
my hit dice. I think it was
Reginald.
Brian who has used it.
Some dude, my friend. Welcome.
I've been in this room for 400 years.
I'm Casper, the healing cleric. How are you?
Yeah. I'm the level 20 cleric. Yeah, so well, I guess whoever needs a rest can rest. I'm good. I'm quite lucky I've not been hit yet. So we could either, I hate to say the word split the party, but whoever needs to rest, and whoever doesn't can probably go do some scouting around the other rooms in the house, or we could just wait here and then go into the danger door.
I think splitting the party is a terrible idea given how
The party together's not worked out
the
that well.
party together has struggled tremendously.
Of the list of ideas we've had, that's up there as the worst. I'm not gonna lie.
I think I've already had a short rest. Like previously.
I think Brian has used her hit die to heal. I'm not sure about myself because I still have my hit dice noted and I have 8 hit points that I think I got from the healing potion, but I'm not sure whether I've used it or not.
Well, you were KO'd in the same encounter Brian was prior to the last encounter you got KO'd.
So probably you did.
I think I also think I used it.
Brian, I know.
I think pretty well, but I used it.
I'm pretty sure I used mine. I've still got it on my sheet, but it's because I did it manually. Because we spoke about it being a D8, but it wasn't. It was a D10, so I rolled it manually.
Oh yeah.
No, I remember you using it for sure, and I thought there were 2 of you that used it, which is why I'm thinking it was Waves and Brian. I don't think you did, Silvo, and Morthwheel did not.
No,
sure.
definitely not.
Yeah.
I've not been injured yet, so I will know. I think I took 1 point of damage at one point.
Yeah, so you're fine. You're totally fine.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I don't know what the fuss is about.
Squishy meat sack, but I'm fine. I can make sparkles. I'm good.
Well, I can't get healed any more than I am, so I'll wait if anybody else now feels the need for a nap. Or if it's finally the danger door.
Well...
Oh, no.
I mean, it's 9.
It's
better than 6. Yeah. But, yeah. Welp.
It could have gone better, but
Glad I put some points into con for this character.
I know. Yeah, good lord. All right, so... and then Darksaber exploded. No, Morthwheel's fine. All these people are fine. Now, the issue is what happens if they do have to deal with these other creatures. Okay. So what is the party going to do as I bring us back to the map?
There's not a lot I can do without a long rest, so I'm just like in the same situation. I don't think we've searched this room, have we? I mean, I don't think we're going to find anything. But when we were here last time, I know that Silvo searched the walls for potentially an escape when we heard people coming. But I don't think we actually searched the room.
Well, Silvo pinched a lot of stuff. I pinched a bunch of other stuff, and there's a really fancy robe in the cupboard.
Not in the room we're in. I'm thinking in the room
barracks.
with all the beds.
Yeah,
barracks.
That's the bedroom. The bed's room. Yeah, barracks. That's the one.
Yeah, we didn't really. Yeah, I don't think we did really search that.
We didn't. No. So let's have a. I reckon have a quick look around here.
Just in case, because I really could do with some better armor.
Because last time I looked in this room, I was scrabbling across the western walls.
That's very true. Thank you for the
It
follow,
was
Mark.
less. It
Thank you
was
for the
less
follow,
a
Mark Soames.
search.
Okay. So, yeah, so in the room, as I think I've mentioned some of this, there are these 10 crude beds that are here along the southern wall, and there's a wooden locker at the foot of each of these beds. There's a long wooden trestle table, which has a bunch of these rickety stools around it, with metal cutlery and cups and dirty plates sitting atop it. There's a cook stove installed near the table. And there is evidence of recently cooked meals that are sitting in pots atop it. And there's a large ham hanging from a loop of twine near the stove. And then there is this sturdy set of stairs leading to a trapdoor in the ceiling above. And, of course, the place that you came from through here. And actually, I'm sorry, the cook stove, I said this was the cook stove. This was right here was the cook stove that you came through. And that's also the entrance back into this room.
A ham, you say?
A ham, correct.
A ham.
A quick question: was it Waves last session who detected the undead?
Yes.
Yep.
So, did Waves
what I was-
communicate to us, and how?
That is what I was trying to do earlier when I pointed at the door and said the thing.
Ah.
The restless dead.
We won't have picked up on that subtlety.
Well,
I
if
thought
they
you were
hit
saying,
you,
let's
that's
go.
your problem.
Yeah.
I thought you were
If
saying,
you
let's
have-
go through here.
Yeah.
If you haven't, I tried my best.
I want to have a look through any of these like foot lockers and like have a proper rummage to see if we can find any healing potions or anything that
That's an
might
excellent shout.
assist during our mission.
So the foot lockers are locked, or so far. Now you can try to open them, but they are locked.
Wait, did you say locked?
Locked.
But then I'm turning to Morthwell. I don't suppose you happen to have a key in that fancy backpack of yours?
I ain't got a key, but I've got this lockpick I've been using the whole time.
Would you mind?
It's not just for setting things on fire.
Go ahead and make a dexterity check for me, please. On the one that, I guess the one that Brian's near, which is the farthest.
I have
one
got
to the right.
thieves' tools with proficiency.
That is what you need. Thieves'
Yep,
tools,
with
and then you can add your
dexterity.
proficiency.
Okay. Getting fancy with these. They actually ask which attribute I'm using. 11. Cell sickness is not.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're like you're just kind of like fiddling with it, and you keep hearing some like promising clicking sounds, but it doesn't. At one point, you're like, I definitely have it, and then doesn't open.
So, could I try something? I also have proficiency in thieves' tools, and I also have a logpick, but I'd like to try something with one of my spells if I can.
Okay.
I forgot I had guidance.
Fireball.
Yeah. Arms of Fadar. Just whip it open. No. So I want to take. So I'm far away from the others now.
On the far side of the room, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I want to I'm going to take one of my water skins. I'm going to pop the cork open. And I'm going to hold my hand over the top of the water skin, and I'm going to cast Shape Water as a cantrip.
Okay.
So I've got the water skin lid right near the lock. So is this a padlock or a lock?
This is it's a lock. And it's kind of a crude lock, but still.
Okay. So with Shape Water, I can do 2 actions associated with changing color or direction or freezing or moving water, right?
Okay.
So I'd like to move the water into the lock and then freeze it to try and break the lock open.
Okay.
So I know I can do those 2 actions. I just don't know if that's going to pop the lock open.
I think what I'm going to have you do here is... pop up your sheet.
Do you want me to stick the flavor text in chat?
No, I know what Shape Water does.
Okay.
But let me see here. Just give me a second. So we have this. That's what I was looking for. No. Okay. I'm going to ask you to make an Arcana check for me, please. Silva.
Oh, good. Arcana check. Well, that's going to go well.
Silvo is MacGyver confirmed. Yes.
Yep, absolutely. Arcana is 9.
Oh, so close. So close to that 20. So the water goes in, and as you sort of freeze it, there's a kind of like it sort of splinters, and you hear a sound. But the lock is still locked. It's possible that you had the right idea, but it's not quite strong enough to break that lock open, Silvo.
Hey, just want to be like, God, stupid idea.
I'm going to look at Silvo and say, what an excellent idea. I also have Shape Water as a cantrip. It's part of
Yes.
being a water
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Water crew.
So,
If Brian's okay with me prodding her, I can cast guidance.
Okay.
I have to touch to cast, so it's like, need a hand.
oh, that would be excellent. Thank you very much.
Okay.
So is
You
that
feel a little
that's-
poke from the lockpick.
So you're looking at an Arcana check is what you're going to be doing here, Brian. So you're going to make an Arcana check, and then you'll add, I think it's 1d4, right, Morthwill?
Yes,
for guidance?
1d4.
Okay.
I'm going to have to roll these separately because I'm not sure how I can roll them together.
Okay, that should be fine.
So there's my Arcana check, and then there's the D4, 13.
So you hear this same kind of like crackling sound, and then you kind of are like, you both of you. There's a secret moment. There's a shot where you see Brian and Morthwill both kind of leaning in, and then and the lock kind of breaks apart, and the box actually shakes a little bit, and the lock is the sort of top flap of the thing that tied the top. Let me see if I can explain this without being confusing. The top lid is attached to the bottom lid with a regular lock, as I said. And when something breaks open, the top cover kind of flips up as if it's now open. So you can now open it up. It seems to have broken something.
Like a wide-eyed look from Silver, like, see, that's exactly what I was trying to do.
I'm going to high five Morthwill and just give double thumbs up to Silvo. Excellent plan. And then open the chest and like have a good scrummage.
Okay. So when you open it up, you see there are a lot of in this locker. There are a lot of clothing. So there's a couple of shoes that have seen much better days. There's some kind of what looks like a tunic and maybe pants. And then there seem to be a couple of things like there are a couple of pamphlets in there. Like Smugglers and You, a pirate's guide, Smugglers for Dummies, things like that. And then you also find in there a pouch of some kind, a small black pouch. And when you shake it, something jingles.
I am going to look over my shoulder to Morthwill and just jingle the pouch at him and just go, ooh, what do you reckon this is?
Wouldn't sound like no potion.
No, it doesn't. I'm going to open the pouch and have a look.
There are, in fact, some coins in here. 7 gold pieces and 15 silver.
I'm going to look at the others and go, do you reckon we'll get into trouble for this?
I reckon it's the least of what we're owed.
Man, we're already in trouble. Let's just take what we need.
Okay.
He says as he kind of recovers the candelabra sticking out of his messenger bag.
Yeah. Can we see if we can relock the lock?
This thing is not relockable. No, this thing is blown apart. You sort of close it, and it kind of just sits like awkwardly on top. It doesn't really close all the way anymore.
The lid's like warped and everything now.
All right, I'm gonna pocket the gold and go. Oh well, I don't want to leave this lying around. Someone might take it.
Well, we were instructed to find a magic item. How are we supposed to know it weren't in there?
Exactly.
We're
How much gold
sanctioned.
was it? Sorry, Alf. How much was it?
Oh, 7 gold pieces and 15 silver.
Excellent.
I try and open the box that's next in line for myself, just with my thieves' tools, not my magic.
With your thieves' tools, sure. Go ahead and make.
I think we can see what's going to be happening here for the next.
Exactly. Make
duration.
that thieves' tool
How
check.
many?
Thank you
How
for the
many
follow-up,
thieves'
Beauty
tools
Nerd.
check would you like us to roll?
Well, if you're gonna, so if you're gonna do them all this way, I mean, Silvo,
Silver
you have
opens
just-
them all. There we
you're
go.
just like, this is what you have to do.
I'm
Just
just-
like,
I'm just like, I take the lock for him, it's like, ting. I was like, see, and I look at the water skin, I'm like, that's what I wanted you to do. Why didn't you do that? And I pop the cork back on the water skin, hook it back on my belt.
no one could have predicted it was actually the Skyrim method of lockpicking. So you open this with no problem at all. Inside this thing, you find, again, a series of a lot of kind of personal effects is sort of the way you would describe them. There's some clothing in there. There are, there's a couple of diary entries. There's a diary basically, and says like, "Dear diary, today managed to get Sanvalet to notice me. Maybe if this continues, he'll allow me to actually he'll actually pay me what he owes me," stuff like that. And then there is another jingling pouch in here.
Wait, there are hints in that diary that Savalit does not pay what he owes.
Shocker.
He flat out said he sees his folk as disposable.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are now his
Which,
folk.
hey, that don't bode well for me keeping his word. Oh, he likes you, Silvo. Oh, yeah, you're his golden boy, all right. But I don't think it bodes well for the rest of us.
I smile at Morthwell. I'm like, it's the trauma.
I lean
Maybe he's
against the
born with
danger
it.
door.
Maybe it's betrayal.
Go ahead, Waves.
Maybe it's betrayal. Maybe it's mental trauma.
Go ahead, Waves.
I just lean against the danger door and cross my arms and wait for all of them to finish their thieving.
I pick the lock in front of me.
Okay, go ahead and make that. Oh, and sorry. Also, there's also a jingling pouch as well there, Silvo.
Oh, cool. I empty that out. I can't. How much is that?
It is 7 gold pieces and 15 silver.
Wow, that's oddly specifically like Brian's.
Yes.
Right, so I'm going to cast this with guidance as well.
Okay.
I probably don't need it. So.
You are, in fact, able to pop it open.
Yep.
And indeed, here you find, again, some clothes, some shoes. You find a couple of ticket stubs that look like they were used to get into some kind of like a bear baiting arena or something down in Saltmarsh. You're not familiar with any of these, but it looks like it was not really in the bounds of the law. It was maybe an unofficial, like a fighting ring type of thing. And you find another jingling coin pouch.
I'll have empty the coin pouch into my hand.
7 gold pieces, 15 silver. I want to note also that the pouch looks identical to the other one. It's exactly the same.
He probably gets a bulk discount from someone in town. Are they nice pouches? Are they well made?
No, they're not particularly well made. They're okay, but they're like, they're clearly, there's kind of mass market. You know what I'm saying? They're not the handcrafted that you really want.
Yeah, I throw the pouch over my shoulder and pull out my much nicer handmade pouch and put the coins in there.
Yep. Okay.
I'm gonna move to the next floor.
There's gold in them there lockers.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just like I've heard the other two pick up bags of gold. In the interest of, do we want like a sometime?
Yeah,
later
I can
screen?
basically make a series. What we'll do is we'll make a series of checks here. So if Morthwheel, do you want to do like 4 checks and Silvo you do 3 or something? So you're kind of meeting in the middle, and then Brian could, if you wish,
Brian wants to get in on this.
could pick up.
Waves
on
doesn't
this
seem
rest.
interested, so we'll have her share.
I'll do another check. That's fine.
So,
This is just straight Arcana. It's not with guidance, so is it?
this would be right. This would be Arcana, but I don't know if you want Morthwheel and Silvo to check everything normally, and then whatever they don't get, you can try, and then if you don't
Yeah,
get it, then
that
you're out of
sounds
luck.
like a good plan.
All right, so let's do that. So let's do 7 more checks, I think is what it comes down to. We'll do 3 for Silvo and 4 for Morthwheel.
Okay. I can put guidance on all of mine because it's such a good cantrip as long as I can touch someone.
Damn it.
Okay.
How many was it for me?
3 for you and 4 for Morthwheel.
3 for me.
I believe.
1, 2, 3.
Okay. So 1, 2, and 3. The 9 does not work. The 12 and the 14 do. various personal effects. You find another copy of the erotic poetry that was in the other room, fully illustrated.
Nope, put that down.
And also you
one.
find 7 gold, and 15 silver in each of the 2 bags. So a total of 14 gold and 30 silver.
14 gold.
Nothing labeled
and
antidote,
30
though, I
silver.
take it.
Sadly, no.
Or armor.
Armor.
And then Morthwill, you can try your 4 if you want.
Yeah, I'll do the 4, and I'll just roll guidance for anything that doesn't make the grade.
Okay.
It's probably just to save a little bit of time for us.
I didn't do that one. You don't mind me writing on the map, do you?
No, it's fine.
I'm losing track of... Good. I'm losing track of what I've opened and what I've not. There we go.
All of them
Nice.
open. Ting, 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 ting. All open. All with personal effects, all with pouches, all identical to each other, all 7 gold and 15 silver. Yeah. So 28 gold and 60 silver if I do my math properly.
Nice.
I point over to the 2 I couldn't unlock, the one with the frozen lock and the one that I couldn't unlock. I just say either to Brian or Morthwheel, or both, actually. I'm like, couldn't get those 2 open if you want those 2.
I'll try to shape water on the one that hasn't got the frozen lock.
I'll put guidance on Brian if Brian would like that.
That would be this
Yes,
one right
please.
here.
This one, yes.
Okay, and then there's a D4 on top of that as well.
Yep.
14.
Kaboom! Lock blows up, and you open it. Again, personal effects, and also 7 gold and 15 silver.
But definitely no armor.
No armor. I mean, unless you count the shoes. The terrible shoes. Or the lousy cloak.
You say terrible shoes. Are they better than my current knackered shoes?
They're about the same. They're
cool.
about in the same position as your current shoes.
Well, to be fair, I'm now richer than Silvo has ever been before.
Yeah.
So he feels like he can afford. He could just buy a house now with this much gold. He's never seen this much gold before.
Yep.
Okay, there doesn't seem to be any armor or any health potions here, so
Yep.
I think we need to move on.
Great. So we're going to leave really rich corpses. Fantastic.
Aye, yes.
Really? Well, I mean, I know we can't take it with us, but we can take it with us until we can take it with us.
We can make it awkward for him to get it back.
Indeed. Okay. I can't see moving away from the door, so I turn to the others and say, I think we're going through the danger door.
We're sure it is dangerous.
I nod and point at the door.
Okay.
You don't want to do
draw
like
both of my
upstairs?
scimitars.
I mean, we know Sambulet's fellas probably won't be attacking us, except maybe that guy that was giving me the evil eye.
He said there were a few parts upstairs that he hasn't searched, but they definitely haven't searched in here, and we know time is of the essence.
Do you?
I was looking for armor.
Healing potions.
Waves looks. You know what? Waves looks at you.
I was like, wait, what are you letting? I'm like, oh wait. Like, look,
looks
time
at
is
you.
really of the essence here. Okay, opens locker.
I was looking for
Waves
health
looks at
potions
you
and armor.
and tilts.
I thought it was a
Waves
long
looks
shot.
at you. You say that. Waves looks at you, tilts her head, and says,
"Oh, waste not, want not."
So Silvo's going to draw and load his crossbow, look at Waves, and sort of go, well, if we're going to die, we're going to die.
"Okay." I take out my rapier and make the motion that I will now open that damn door.
Okay. Now there's a bar over the door, and just to note, you can see the bar is damaged and bent, as if something tried to push the door from the other side. And as you pull the bar off of the door, you're able to easily lift it, and opens it up to reveal. Let's see the following. Hold on a second. At first, when you
I will
open the
not
door,
I will not drop the bar. You know, just in case.
right, yeah, okay. So when you first open it, you just see a little bit of the room that is nearby. There's light spilling in for the large room behind you. Barely shows that the chamber is only about 12 feet across, and the corners are filled with shadow. What little you can see is dingy and dirty.
I, Morthiel, would like to throw my light stone into the room.
Okay.
It is only a very small stone, but it lights up bright for 4 feet and dim light for 4 feet. Oh, 5 feet each, sorry, not 4.
So, okay. So a total of 10.
Yes.
All right. Good. Where? Just tell me specifically where you're going to highlight it. So let me bring you over to where we are. So like say we're right here. Where in this room are you going to do that?
Well, aiming for around there, I would say. Since that seems central-ish from where I'm standing.
We're playing a high-stakes game, Battleship. Okay. When you toss it there, you see...
Close the door, close the door, close the door!
You see creatures climbing to their feet and slowly making their way. Now, when I say slowly, like they are quite slow. Like they are just like gradually moving towards you. They make no noise, but their bones clack against each other as they are heading in your general direction.
We could run away really, really fast and leave that as a surprise for them.
I take a look at the things and close the door and put in the bar.
Okay.
Excellent.
Let's not go that way. It's a silly place.
You do that, and a minute or two, just about 10 seconds later, you hear... And you hear this sort of smashing, and the inside of the door, like... And the bar kind of, pushes out a little bit.
So, do I know what they were? Do they look like something I know?
They look very much like skeletons.
I don't think there are trapped slaves in here. I think we can leave the death door alone.
Maybe. Yep, maybe.
When a sign says danger, you take it at its word. Old dwarven proverb.
Yes, absolutely. Oh dear. Not a fan of that.
They look like dangerous skeletons.
Then there's like a scratching sound against the door.
Back off. Because the door's already taken some damage.
Yeah, but is it... I mean, they are like skeletons. Do they look like I will tap them and they will fall apart skeletons?
The way we've been going, they'll tap you and you'll fall apart.
It's a little hard to say because you didn't get much of a look at them before you closed the bar. They were moving slower than normal skeletons do. You don't know what that means, but other than that, it just seemed like skeletons, although, again, might be something odd about their movement. But you would have needed more time than the 5 seconds before you're like, nope, and closed the bar and walked away.
Oh, I'm not walking away. I'm still standing in front of the door, being very
just standing in front of the door. Okay, fair enough.
I still have one hand on the bar, and I'm very obviously thinking.
Okay.
I think we can safely assume that there are no slaves in there, and I know that's what you were worried about. I don't think there are any slaves in this whole house. There is definitely some shenanigans, though. Maybe we need to have a little bit of a look upstairs for the artifact. I can't imagine the artificer hiding it in amongst a room full of skeletons.
I'm assuming we didn't see any other exits from that room in the brief moment we had the door
I was going to
open.
say, the problem is that half of it's like wreathed in shadow, so there could have been spots elsewhere that you didn't see.
I'm quite close to the door, but I can't see in the dark, so...
I look at you, Brian, and I shake the head and I point at the door again. Because Waves really thinks that if you want to hide something, you might hide it where it's guarded. Are we
really in a position to take on the skeletons right now?
I'm sorry, Ananda. Go ahead and say that again. Yeah, I'm sorry, Ananda. Say that again. I apologize.
Sorry, I was just replying back to just saying, do you really think we're in a position to take on on these skeletons right now?
I shrug.
I mean, I'm fine, but you know, I'm far away. And with that, Silvo kind of stands between the two beds. as well, he's getting further and further away from this door.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now here. Now here.
Okay.
Silver has his crossbow out, right?
Yep.
Have I seen Mothball wielding a ranged weapon?
Just the spell that I've been consistently chucking every combat. I do actually have a crossbow on me. I've just never drawn it.
Okay, I also take out my crossbow and I point at your crossbow.
Who, mine?
Doing your proficiency with
No,
magic.
Mothball's crossbow.
What about it?
I
You didn't get him
show
from a
you how I'm
distance.
readying my crossbow.
Oh, I pull out my lockpick.
I look at you like, okay, he's also crazy. What can I do? And I go towards one of the beds and I try to turn it over to make kind of a barricade and put my crossbow on it.
Okay.
I look at Waves and go, I get what you mean now.
Could we
and
shove
kind
a-
of follow suit?
Could we shove a bed up against a door, make an obstacle, and shoot them as they try and get past?
Well, the door opens to our side, so that might be difficult.
Silvo kind of comes back from the corner of the room that he's now hiding in, and he goes, "Well, what if we just hold the door closed, but open it a tiny bit, and then
Nah.
try and shoot in the tiny bit?"
You must be this skeletal to come in.
I walk to the door and then I walk really slowly towards the bed, making like zombie motions. And then I hide behind the bed and show like shooting a crossbow. So I really hope people understand me now.
So use these for cover, and
Because
open
they're
the door.
very slow.
So maybe if we put obstacles in their way, and then we hide behind cover, we open the door. And I'm like, I think I might be able to do this. I think I can open things from a distance.
Or we could just keep moving away from them.
We could
But then
barricade
someone's got to.
here. And then the only place that they would be able to go is the gap where I'm currently standing. So we could do that so they can't get into the room.
Sounds like a good
barricade
plan.
where, sorry?
Barricade here. So,
Barricade like this bit, basically.
whichever the brown one is.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
Would this
okay,
be an
cool.
appropriate time to break out my carpenter's tools? I could nail
Yes,
things
it would.
together really quickly.
100% be exactly. If only we had someone with some carpenter's tools, Silvo says, staring at Morthwell.
Oh, it's funny you should mention that. I pull my hammer up my belt and spin it in my hand.
No, excellent.
That sounds like an excellent idea. I look at Waves and kind of nod and look for a reaction.
I nod as well, and let's build a barricade and open a door and shoot it
Okay.
out.
If this goes wrong, what happens? We need
the
to
barricade
escape.
catches fire.
I mean, that's fair. But we could either go through the... We've got multiple exits in this place. We could go through the way we came in. We could go through the sealable secret door. Or we could go through the trap door that's in the floor. Or, to be honest, what if we just leave them Sambalat?
Well, I didn't... did anyone close the secret door after we came in?
Nope.
Because
I didn't.
Morthwell didn't. There's no point anymore.
Well, I'm just thinking,
No, I didn't.
yeah, it's not a secret
They-
anymore. Everyone knows.
They know we're here.
It's the worst secret. I'm thinking open it, and if things go sideways, we go this way towards the cave system, and Sambalat and his men are then involved.
Didn't
Like,
we have the
they-
door in the ceiling?
Yes,
Yes.
trapdoor.
Okay, I point upwards and then again make slow shoveling movements. Because
Well,
why
get them,
shouldn't they
get
just?
them upstairs.
I think
No,
we should
no.
move faster than that.
No, we can escape upstairs.
Yeah, so we go upstairs.
and then
Okay.
trap them down here, leave the door open, they can go into the cave system.
All right. That's
I
a good
know.
idea. So let's block this bit, and Silver points to the fireplace. Let's try and block that bit so they don't just go out that way. Let's open the secret door, and then if you three go in the hatch, I'll stand here and unlock the door at a distance, and then run through the hatch, and then we can seal ourselves out, and then they can go towards where they assume life is going to be, and get Sambalat and his men. How's that?
Does Silver feel like? Does it sound like Silver wants to skip the killing the undead part?
Let's create the barricade as planned.
Morthwill's hammering away at the barricade while they
he's
discuss
already
the final
built
points.
it.
What are you making it out of, by the way, Morthwill? Just
bits of bed.
Okay.
Oh, a table.
And I have a carpenter's
There's a giant table.
table. I've got
Giant
carpenter's
table.
tools on me. That's part of my starting kit, which is on me.
Okay.
So I assume carpenter's tools will include nails and things like that.
Okay.
Oh, so you mean have like a last stand here? Very, very.
Well, I'm hoping
quick
it's not a
table
last
talk.
stand.
No, but very quick table talk. So, Pyron, you mean have barricade this section of the room, have a stand here against skeletons, and then if things go sideways, then we escape and leave Sambalet's men, or let the skeletons do whatever they need to.
Exactly.
Excellent. Excellent idea.
But killing the undead is a noble cause, and we should try.
I was just going to lead them straight to Sambalet.
No, at least if they get down there, we've got the excuse. Oh, they escaped. Oh no! We were looking for an artifact.
Yeah, sorry. I bought you a present. Bye. Okay, yeah, we can do that. We can. Brian, do you have a
Let's do
ranged
this.
weapon?
Any kind of check I need to make for carpentry on this barrier?
I'm going to say, yeah, I'm going to have you make a dexterity check for me, please. I don't think the carpenter's tools gives you any bonus to that. I just think it makes it possible for you to do this, is my guess.
I do have proficiency in carpenter's tools,
okay,
as
then
well
you
as
can-
having them.
Then you can add proficiency bonus to this.
I have the capacity to produce a lot of different. Well, I don't have the other tools. I've only got carpenters
damn.
and thieves. But
And this
at
is
various
making
points.
a noise. You're okay with the fact that it's making a noise while you're.
They know we're here. We're working for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they hammer away.
So not only can you make a chest, you can also unlock the chest once you've made it.
On top of that, one of the later skills artificers get is I can literally produce any set of tools for any type of task that I need, but I can only have one of those sets of tools at a time. So if I know there's something coming where I might need those tools, I can actually. I think I have to do a long rest or
Brilliant.
something, but I can produce the tools.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Cool. All right, so you're able to construct a barricade. Wonder if I actually have.
You could just draw it.
Yeah, I saw the line there. I was wondering if I had no roll 20. I'm not gonna buy a stockade fence. Nice try though.
Yeah, it's not like I crit.
Like
You
that,
can just paint it.
right?
Oh yeah, that's a nice bit. But
Yeah,
both,
that's all right.
Both things. So if both fields.
Like there.
Squares.
Both squares. So the one down
Is
below
that
as
where
well.
we're doing it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's this kind of area, isn't it?
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah. So the whole section is barricaded.
Just kidding.
What is that?
It's a red and blue, police line type of thing. Sorry.
I mean, I'll take it.
Like that. we're
We'll
talking,
draw the
right?
line
Yeah.
here, this far, no further.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now,
And-
remember, that's
okay.
going to block, just so you know, that is going to affect both you and them getting over it. Now, that's probably fine with you, but I'm just letting you know that, they will, yeah.
And now we ready our crossbows. Have
Okay.
Silver open the door with
Yep.
distance opening.
Okay, so
And
s-
then
Now,
Distance
what
opening
is the
going.
distance at which you
Yeah,
can do this?
I'm just checking Mage Hand now.
Thank you for the
it's
follow,
30 feet.
Cybernetic Cataclysm. That's a great name, by the way.
I think it's 60 feet from the vague
Is it?
memory of.
It says 30.
Okay, no, don't take my word for it.
Yeah, no, it says that the hand vanishes if it's ever more than 30 feet away.
To be fair, I had it for Celtic. I don't think I ever used it.
I was going to say, I don't remember. So are these 5 foot squares?
Yes,
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I need to stand basically here,
that's right.
which is a good spot.
And we've
okay.
also got a barricade over here, haven't we? By the fireplace, and this door's open.
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
We
you
just
also
closed the
barricaded.
fireplace. They
You
didn't
barricaded
look
the fireplace
intelligent.
as well.
Did we
Yeah,
have
so
to
we're
barricade
gonna-
the fireplace? We could just close the door.
We can just close it.
Is there?
I don't
can
think
we
they are
just
smart
close
enough
the-
to like. I don't think the skeletons would be smart enough. Like, hey, we should check the fireplace for a secret door.
Yeah, fireplace was a secret door, so we could have just
Is
closed
the secret door
Yeah, just
closable?
close it.
Though, can we? If we can
Yeah,
just
it
close
was.
that secret door, yeah, we'll just. Close it.
Brian
Tried
figured
last
it
time
out.
already.
Yes.
I figured it
Very
out and I
theatrically.
opened it. I don't know that it was ever closed.
We could probably just pull it or push it to the point where it is closed. So
Okay, well, as long as we're fairly sure that that's secure, and then we open this door here, which is the one to the cave, just in case
quick
we need
side
to
note:
get pushed back.
have we ever seen anyone actually go through that hatch?
Yes, the archer was trying to go through it when we killed them.
Trying to go through it. Is it locked?
No, we opened it and it screamed.
Yeah, that's right.
Did it? Oh, okay.
It got you two again.
Yeah, it screamed and
That's right.
and Silvo and Brian ran away.
Yeah, fair enough. You say ran away.
Well, we strategically departed.
I strategically retreated in your arms.
Which I can't help but notice, Brian, that sort of part of strategic departure was conveniently left out of your description of what happened when the scream was first heard. When you were describing this, you know.
It was all implied.
All implied. It was subtext.
We had a
it was
Scooby Doo
fine.
moment.
Subtext.
Let's shoot the undead.
Let's just shoot the undead. Yeah. So I'm in a good position. Is everybody else in a good position? Brian, do you have a ranged weapon?
I do. I've got a crossbow.
Oh, this is gonna look
The
amazing.
bed is not there anymore. You could stand next to me.
The bed is not there anymore. I'm not standing next to you. I'm standing behind you.
Hang on a sec.
I'm standing behind
Multiple-
people.
Must have used the bed for something.
I'm standing on a bed over there.
Okay.
Fair.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Could
stand
we
behind one of
just
you
shoot
two. You two protect me.
Right, so to be clear, there we go.
My
So
spell's got a range of 120 feet, so I'm just standing on a bed over there so I can just get a line of sight.
So Morthwell's
All
on
right.
this bed. Silvo is here. Brian is up here. Waves right here. And Silvo is about to open this door. Yes.
I want to get line of
Yes.
sight on the actual door. I can't really see it from there, so I'm going to kind of like duck down.
You could stand
by
on the other
this
side
bed.
of waves. Yeah.
Right,
Well, those
yeah.
beds. So those beds aren't there anymore, as far as I'm aware.
Right. The bed's been
we've
destroyed
used-
basically to
yeah.
make the barricade. So yes, you could
Okay.
actually
So that
stand
should
here
be-
if you
that
want.
should be fine.
Or where you are is fine. This one, yeah, that's yeah. All
We
right.
can still move back if they come closer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Should
Way
they
ahead of you.
suddenly speed up? We're in trouble, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm gonna be right next to you in a second.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna stare at the door and I'm gonna make like there's a hand lifting motion that I'm making, and I have to do this a couple of times that I'm doing this, and nothing really happens to the point where Waves probably just looks very impatient at this point, and then
Yes.
the bar wobbles a bit, and a spectral clawed hand is just underneath it and just slowly lifts the bar up, and the bar just falls off. It's like, yes.
So
Only done that a couple of times.
So for a moment, nothing at all moves. There's
Yeah.
just silence. Nothing else happens.
Oh, have we
And-
got like a prepared action? Because we're expecting this.
Maybe, I guess. What were you at? What were you thinking?
Depends what it is.
Well, hit them immediately as when the door opens, because we could have a readied attack.
That's true. You could definitely do that. So then the door no, that's not I love that music, but that's not good enough. We need
Stars.
Can
there
I?
we go. The door blows open. And on the other side of it is one of the skeletons, actually not roaring. They're not making any noise at all. Okay.
They have no vocal cords.
You notice that others have appeared. A number of others have appeared.
Good. There's three of them.
Many.
Oh, those.
others
Oh
have
shit.
appeared. And the door
Oh,
opens
no.
now. At that point, all of your weapons fire at once at this one godforsaken skeleton on the other side. So before we
Pretty
go into
much,
initiative,
pretty much.
I will let each of you get an attack off on these skeletons.
Excellent.
14 will hit.
10.
10 will miss. 19 will hit. And so 7 piercing. Okay, now.
And 10 piercing from me. Because
Free fire
Mikey
from
will
me.
also hit.
Okay, so
20
let's
points
see.
of
So that's a total of, if I'm not mistaken, 17 piercing damage. Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
17
With the crossbow,
piercing.
you did 10 on that just now?
No, I did 10 with the. Did I? Yeah, it said piercing. Yes, I did 10 with my crossbow.
Okay,
Uh,
okay, not your
Plus 5
rapier.
dex.
Because the
No.
dex. No, that's true. That's fine. No, that's fine. I was just
No, not with the rapier. Should I throw it or something?
no. I know. I was making sure. I know how much damage you do with your rapier, so I was just making sure. Okay, so 17 piercing and 3 fire, huh?
Yep.
Let's see. Okay, well, the skeleton opens the door. All of these skeletons move behind it, and there's this panic, and just fire bolts and crossbows and everything in the world, and it just like blows up, basically, into a shower of bone, and behind them, moves forward. And now, please,
Okay.
I would like us to roll initiative. Make sure to touch your tokens first, and then roll initiative, and then it will pop up on the turn order if all goes well.
Touch token roll initiative.
There you go.
Finally, a good initiative roll. It's only taken like 2 months.
All right.
Terrible initiative roll.
But I love the fact that it works perfectly in the turn order, though. Okay, Morthwill with a 17. Let's see. Silvo with a 12. Waves with a 7.
Yeah.
And Brine, who is not appearing in this picture. No. Brine with a 5. Okay. So let me just quickly array everybody.
Roll for initiative, suckers.
Okay. Let's see in the news.
Because I'm late in the turn order, I'm just going to be RB for like literally 2 seconds.
Okay, that's fine. Right.
Diplomacy has failed with our opponents. It is only violence.
There's only one thing you understand. It is the language of death. Okay. I have a question, Silvo. What is your dexterity? Just your raw score.
It is. My raw score is 15.
Gotcha. Cool. All right. So we lead off with Morthwheel. There are many skeletons here.
Yes, so he's immediately just going to do another firebolt on the one in the doorway. 12.
12 will miss. It flies over his shoulder and impacts something in the room beyond.
Mm-hmm.
You hear a terrible clacking sound of bones.
Seeing and hearing what sounds like more skeletons than previously heard, he's going to back up even further. Hang on.
He just exits the map, okay? Alrighty.
Yeah,
Okay.
still within range. I'm fine. So,
All
yeah.
right. And that is going to lead us to Silvo, who is up next.
Awkwardly reloads his crossbow and then... God, I hate this thing. Right. Aim, fire. And...
22.
And then...
We're going to have to go here.
22.
Trying to get Morthwill in while still get the skeletons. Okay. 22 will hit.
Excellent. Damage is 4.
4 damage, okay.
Does this one explode?
With 4 damage.
Okay, there we go.
That must be
No,
fine.
this
I would
one
like
does
that.
not explode, no.
God damn it.
I would like that.
It is definitely, you hit it for sure, but it is not deadly damaged. It is, however, displeased, and it moves forward into the room because it is... Oh, sorry, where are you moving anywhere, Silver? You're staying where you are.
No, yeah, I'm moving back, so I'm going to move... how far can I move then?
Should be 30 movement, I think.
30 feet. 5, 10, 15, 20. Move there-ish. Let me just double check 2 things. 1, how far can I shoot
There,
with my
actually.
crossbow?
You can
Okay.
shoot 30 without... no, 80 you can shoot... With your light crossbow you can shoot 80 without any malice.
Yeah, no, I'm fine here. There we go.
Okay, that's going to lead us to the bad guys as the skeletons come in the room. Now, again, they're moving stronger. They're moving slower, but you notice as they come forward that they look surprisingly something is different about them. And as this one comes up to the barricade, just slams its fist onto the barricade and makes no noise, just this clacking of bones. And as it hits the barricade, a lot of the barricade splinters. In fact, a lot more of the barricade than you would hope had splintered as this thing starts ramming into it. The second moves alongside. And then these ones all move up behind.
And it felt like we had such a good plan.
Okay. And that is going to lead us to... by which I mean waves.
Okay, I'm a bit surprised that they moved that quickly. I didn't expect that.
30 feet.
And we have 5-foot squares.
Yes.
So they can move 15... No, wait. How many?
6 is what they
5.
could move.
So
if
they
you-
move slower than normal skeletons, but they move faster than Morthor.
Yeah. They seem to be moving... As you're watching them, it's almost as if there's some odd, like, reinforcement almost about them, as if something was done to them. They're not just, skeletons that have risen from the dead, but something has been created in them.
Are they like lashed together? Like there's nails and straps on them and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it, yes. They have stuff, they've been reinforced.
Okay.
Huh. Okay, I move back to where, this is where Silver is, and will still shoot with my crossbow at the one that has Silver's crossbow ball sticking out of it.
Nice.
Okay, sounds good.
Focus fire, people. Focus fire.
15?
15 will hit.
9.
9. And this one, like you strike it through the skull and several bone chips fall from it, and it crumbles to the floor.
Okay. That could be
Alright.
worse.
Okay, and that leads us to... Are you staying where you are, Waves?
I moved back and then shot. But I still needed to stay into range. I've got a small crossbow.
Okay. That leads us to Brine, just on the other side of the barricade as these skeletons move in.
The first place Brian could ever be. Okay. Here's what I would like to do. I would like to... I'd like to get my water skin, and I would like to, toss water on the floor around here.
Okay.
And
Why did I be
freeze
thinking
it.
exactly the same thing?
And then freeze it with the aim that, particularly if they're like skeletons, if they are obviously, with the aim that hopefully they'll fall over and sleep.
Okay, and you're placing it where? Here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that it kind of covers both of these. I mean, is there enough water in the water skin to cover both of these?
5 feet is a good amount of space for a water skin to cover. I mean, you can, maybe a light coating.
Okay, in which case I'm going to go for the one that actually has one of the skelly bones in.
Okay.
I
And
think
freeze
you can only
it.
cover 5 feet as well with shape water. I think you can only move a 5 feet of water.
Right, so as much as you could do would be 5 feet, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, yeah, I've just seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that's what I would like to do, please.
Okay. So I think you can do that. So you shape the water into it and then freeze it in the skeleton. We will see what happens next turn when it actually moves, but you have done what you wish to do. Are you staying where you are, Brian?
No, I'm going to retreat.
Please don't stay where you are.
Okay.
I'm retreating up to. I want to be within kind of dashing distance. Like, can I go there? Is that how
5, 10,
many is
50.
that?
Yes.
One.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. That brings us up to the top of the round. It brings us up to Morthwill.
Okay, so he's going to go to the base of the stairs there with his movement.
Okay.
And he's going to cast...
Sorry, chat.
yeah,
I'm doing
he's-
the best I can. It's like farther out of screen, farther out of screen.
We've reached the point where we're just fleeing immediately when combat starts to save time.
This is over the shoulder firing, people. This is over the shoulder firing.
And I'm going to cast Firebolt at the skeleton that's nearest the barricade, the one that's just had the floor iced underneath it.
All right, go ahead and fire away.
18.
That will absolutely hit.
Come on.
4 fire damage.
Okay. So does a little bit of damage. It does not like it. And you've obviously moved. You fired. So that brings us to Silvo.
Excellent. So I'm going to hold a hand out and try my best to cast Firebolt.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast it. What was the one that you just attacked, Mothwell? Was it this one?
That's the one, yeah.
Excellent. I'm going to aim at that one. The closest one, funnily enough. So bear with me 2 seconds. How do Firebolts? Firebolts. That's how Firebolts. Does
that
a
will
13
hit.
hit?
Absolutely will hit, yes.
How do damage? Is that damage? Yes, max damage.
Kaboom! The fire just consumes it. And
A
down it
screaming
goes.
black bolt of fire strikes the skeleton and obliterates it. I'm just like, oh, damn, that hasn't happened for a while.
No, these are fire bolts, not fireballs affect life, or this would be a
Yo.
whole different matter.
Give me some time.
So that's going to lead to. So there's that. All right. And then Silver, are you moving anywhere?
No, not unless you can allow me to do a cantrip as a bonus action.
Yeah, it depends on if the cantrip is allowed to do as a bonus action, but unless the cantrip
Just
says that, then no.
No, it does not.
Okay, so then you're going to stay where you are. So then we have this. This one moves up front. And the barricade, this one that's been attacking is almost destroyed now. These things are quite strong. This one moves up into that area. Now, it only moves into the area. And what this is going to essentially do, it doesn't look like they're going to slip, Brian, but it looks like this is difficult terrain. So it's going to slow them down as they're moving through it. That said, right now it's just trying to break some barricades. So it's going to do that down here and breaks it into flinders and splinters. And then this one is going to go 5. It's going to move through 10, 15. Let's see. There is no bed here, as we said. 20, 25, 30. It is moving towards you. Okay. I think... Yeah, because it wouldn't have been able
They
to...
move real quick for old skeletons. Just going to say.
30. 30 feet. Okay. So there's that. There's that. And that leads us to waves.
Further retreat and another crossbow bolt on the nearest skeleton.
Okay.
Wait, you said 6 is what they can move, right?
6 squares
5.
would be, yeah.
Because 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, yeah, 30. So 6 squares is what they can move. Now we have 3 squares between me and him. Like this. This, because I need to stay in range because I've got the small crossbow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that is all I can move. So I'm going to go here,
Okay.
and fire at the skeleton again.
Okay. Silvo ducking just as you're doing that. You have enough for me to do it. Okay.
So hope I missed 16.
16 will hit.
11.
11. That is a big strike. So it slams into this creature's skull. It's not dead, more dead. It is, however, quite badly hurt. You can see little bone chips sort of falling off it as you look. Do you want to move any further, or are you good?
I can't. I think.
No,
think
yes you can.
I
You've only
can-
moved a few spaces.
Okay, then I'm gonna move so that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Because your movement's
6,
30,
7.
right?
I can move 30, yes.
5, 10, 15,
So I'll
25.
just move it like this so that there are 6 spaces. Wait, I need 7 spaces between me and
Yep.
the.
Okay, that works. Yep.
So 7.
That yeah.
7
So that's
spaces
that's
between me and
30.
the
So
thing.
that's maximum for you.
Yeah, that's.
Okay.
So I'm away now.
All right. I love the idea of just everyone backing up. The whole combat is just backing up. Brian, you were up next.
I am going to aim my crossbow at this skelly boy here, the one that's already damaged,
Okay.
and completely fluff it.
That is the case. You fire into the ceiling. Yes.
Yeah, completely missed. Fortunately, nobody else is in the vicinity, so it just like bedoinged on
I'm
the
glad-
floor.
Doink.
I'm glad that wasn't Waves' shot.
I am also going to retreat slightly. I am going to go. I'm going to go next to Morthwheel.
Okay. Yeah, no, Pandora, they can move 30 feet. So these squares are 5, so they can move 6 squares. And they can move 30 feet and then attack if they could get to them. Fortunately for the party, they do not have ranged weapons, which is helping out a lot in this fight. Okay. That was Brian, and that brings us up to... Okay, now bear with me just 1 second here. Okay, so... Okay, well. All right. So, as the next turn begins, you hear some strange kind of voice coming, some strange sound. And suddenly, emerging behind this row of skeletons, you see a hunched corpse, which is wearing a pointed hat and dressed in a robe embroidered with mystic symbols. Thin wisps of beard float from its bony jaw. It raises a finger, tracing arcane symbols in the air, and in a hoarse voice it speaks, "Secrets found and lost and found again. Your paltry minds cannot fathom." And it draws forth from its robe a vial of some green liquid and chucks it directly at Morthwheel and Brine. Let's see.
Hell of a throw. Jeez.
Yeah.
Brian is like a
Altogether.
magnet for trouble.
So
Maybe he
all
just had
together
a
now.
long time to
Na,
practice.
na, 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 na.
Let's go through the danger door.
We never went through the danger door.
Now we know why.
I was going to say, technically, none of us went through the danger door.
Yeah.
True.
We never made it that far.
So it chucks actually 2, because it's doing it at distance, it's doing this at disadvantage. So it chucks 2 of these vials in your direction. One of them like misses way off to the right, not even close. But the second one is going to be... it's going to be aiming here at the one that's closer, which is Brian. And it's going to have a 16.
My AC is 16.
Okay, so it is just going to hit you. And it shatters. And you are going to take...
Yeah, there's inspirations ready, people.
You are... I feel really bad about this. So... You're going to take
You melt.
9 points of spitting acid damage as this
I
thing
do have
smashes.
resistance to acid damage.
Ah, good stuff. So instead, you only take 5. So that means you are down to 4 points. Now,
Ooh.
half of that is going to go on to Morthwheel. So you're going to take, again, 5, Morthwheel, unless you also have resistance to acid.
I don't get any save against that.
In that case, you are
No,
going... No, you don't. No, if
Okay.
you're right in the vicinity. That you take half damage, which reflects that it didn't hit you directly.
Okay.
So that's why. So, yep. You're going to take 5 points of damage, Morthwheel, of this acid.
Okay.
All right.
I feel like it was going really well until now, you know? I feel like it was going well.
I'm
We
It was
had a
working
plan,
well
at
until it
least.
wasn't.
Okay. That leads us to Morthwheel. A new enemy has entered the battlefild, as they say.
I'm going up here and opening the trap door.
Time to leave.
I can't keep you in my sights. Okay. Okay, there's Morthwheel, everybody. Okay. So you go up there, and then you're opening the trapdoor. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. When you go up there and open the trapdoor... Okay, that's the same way. Just want to make sure that I've got you going to the right place. Oh, I see it. I see it. Okay. When you open this door, you find yourself, temporarily anyway, Let's see, where do I have you? You find yourself. Oh, there we go. Sorry, Saber, I have to bring the players over for just a moment.
It's incredibly awkward.
You find yourself looking out here. There is a door inside this room, and as you look around, you can see that you have emerged on the first floor of the house that you saw, that you came into. And what you find in this place is that there's a door in the north wall that you can just see leads onto a small patio. But other than a pile of refuse here, in the south corner, in the southeast corner, sorry, over here, southeast corner right here, the room is bare. But when you open this, you hear the following. Welcome, fools. Welcome to your deaths. I am going to need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me, please, Morthwill.
I've already heard it. Will that give me a benefit?
Yeah.
Ah.
We set it off last time.
We set it off last time.
That's right, you did.
Yeah, that's
did.
what.
Yes, you're right.
That's
So
what
yes,
Brian
that's
does
fine.
last
Everybody
time.
heard this, so yes, that's true.
Yes.
Yes, you were okay. So you just heard it before.
Okay.
But it's the
Yep.
same sound.
And this is a fully enclosed room, and it's all clear. Is that
It
right?
is. I wouldn't say it's fully enclosed, but there is a door though. That's over here on this side, over here to
Yes.
the east.
But the door is not shutting us in with anything if we head up into this room.
At the moment, correct.
Yes, at the moment.
So that's what you
It's
see.
all clear up here. Whatever you're gonna do it fast.
Okay.
So I guess I've used my action opening that trap door now, so that's probably it for me.
That is correct. So, let's see. And then you smash the window, jump out, burn the house to the ground. Yeah, that's, well, the way that they feel about this house, there may be something to that.
Working on it.
That's going to lead us to Silvo. There are 3 skeletons remaining, and then Skele Wizard dude, alchemist guy, whatever his name
Boss
is back there.
skeleton. I am gonna go. Wait. 5,
I'm sorry,
10,
I got to bring you. I got to bring the players back over. No, I did.
Oh, you
I
did.
did bring you
Yeah,
back.
we're,
over.
we're back. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm gonna move here. Hello. I'm going to turn around and cast Firebolt at this skeleton, the one that is closest to us.
Right.
Because
over
that
here.
has taken some damage already.
Okay, go ahead and fire away. Should we start a GoFundMe to
Why?
cover Skeleton Tim's second funeral costs?
Oh, it's
Possibly.
an 8.
That firebolt goes whizzing
Yeah.
past. Does not hit, unfortunately.
Okay.
God damn it! Okay, let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay. Since you fired a firebolt at it, I think it is going to attempt to attack you. Finally, the skeletons have reached you. One of them, and they are, I should have mentioned before that they all were carrying short swords, and that's all, no short bows. Very rusty, bad
Yeah,
looking.
you might have mentioned that. I
Sorry.
thought they were unarmed.
Sorry, I didn't mention. No, they're not unarmed, but they do not have bows. They don't have any
Okay.
ranged weapons, just melee weapons.
Okay.
So let's see. We're looking at
The swords.
a 20, not a natural, just a regular 20. One attack they get.
Is that on me?
That's on you.
No, that misses.
I don't believe you.
What do you What do you think? I'm a sorcerer. Yes, that definitely hits.
Okay. You are going to take 4 points of slashing damage from this.
Okay. I'm gonna yelp quite loud.
Okay. You may do so. Yelping is a free action. All right. This is going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. This guy is going to have difficulty getting out of this icy area. So it's only going to get this far. And that's the end of the skeleton's turn, and that leads us to waves.
Okay. I'll shoot the skeleton that is attacking Silvo
Okay.
as soon as I've found my character sheet again, because I accidentally closed it. I'm sorry. There it is.
It's not that bad.
20.
Oh, man.
So like
Critical
natural 20.
hit.
Yeah,
Straight
critical
through the
hit.
eye socket. Max damage.
I don't even know how much max damage is. in
So
this
just
case.
roll the way you would normally for the damage, and then we'll just, that will give us what we have. So it would be 8, right? So 13. So yeah. So max damage. So you obliterate it. It once again blows up because it's just more normal damage. So it hits, with its sword, and then it looks with its clacking bones. And Silvo, then you just see bone fragments everywhere, including on you.
I like it. Like I shot the skeleton that was standing between Silvo and Brian, and like.
Yeah, exactly.
Anybody else?
Okay.
You stone cold killer.
I'm just going to give
Alright.
waves like the double finger girl.
Okay. That leads us to. Are you going to stay where you are, Waves? Or are you going to move up or back?
No, we had a plan and that said like retreat to the upper floor, and I'm gonna follow that plan because I like following plans. So I'm also gonna move upstairs.
To the upstairs. Okay. So we'll come back to you and Morthwill in a moment. Okay.
I guess just for visualization, Morthwill's probably standing 1 foot on the upper floor and 1 foot on the stairs.
That's what
right
I figured.
now.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay. That leads us to Brine, who's up next.
Okay. My only ranged weapon is a crossbow. I'm in range to hit that one. Is that
Mhm.
right?
Yep, absolutely.
Excellent. So I am going to do exactly that, and probably miss.
9 is not going to do it, I'm afraid. Sadly, that is a miss.
And I am going to hoof it upstairs.
Okay, so you also are heading upstairs. Okay.
Oh yes.
And that's going to bring us up to the top, where this guy says, "You cannot fathom." And let's see, he's going to move. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Just enough. Okay. Is 10, 15, 20. Okay, is going to heave it at Silvo. Let's see. And is going to do so with... As I pull up that one? Okay. All right, that is a 16 to hit your AC. That hits Silvo?
Yep. Sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, that hits.
Okay. That is going to be 6 points of acid damage.
Okay.
Which I think brings you to -2.
So, do you want to do the flavor text for this bit, or shall I do it?
I think you should do it.
Okay, excellent stuff. So Silvo, there's a hissing sound, and Silvo kind of collapses onto one of the bolts of silk that you see, and he looks dead, like dead, and kind of hits the ground for a second. His arm kind of splays out of his coat, and because you're all nearby, you see the tattoo on his arm slither. It moves, and you notice the tribal symbols actually look like tentacles. So they move in a weird way, and there's a sudden sort of, oh god. And Silvo stands back up with 1 hit point.
And the second one was being aimed at long range past you. At, let's see, I think basically 5, 10, 15, 20. I was going to try to aim for basically Waves, who's got the 1 foot up and 1 foot out, like his hat, like almost up the stairs. But it's doing this at disadvantage.
Dang, we've got one more undead now.
The mystery. Okay, let's see. Okay, wow. It had crit you, but because it was disadvantaged, didn't do that. However, it's a 16 on the lower roll. Does that hit you, Waves?
Nope, 16 does not hit me.
Oh, you have a 17?
No. I've got a 19.
Oh, you got a 19. Oh, man.
Wow.
Yeah, 'cause
Yes,
that's
and you
dex.
still hit me last time, and
That's
I was
right, it's the
angry.
dex. That's right, I forgot about that. Okay, well, so
my
it splashes. You'll be happy to know that because it splashes harmlessly and does not hit you, it also doesn't hit either Morthwill or Brine either. So that's good stuff. See, everything's fine. You've got this completely under control. Okay, so
Yeah.
that
We've got an
is-
undead now.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, it's okay. That's going to bring us to Morthwheel.
Okay, so he's going to firebolt at the acid flinging expletive deleted.
Okay.
Why are we not fleeing?
I've still got to move after this.
Yeah.
Oh.
Person who insisted we open the danger door asking why we're not fleeing.
Yeah.
Hey, I think we set it up perfectly. This is like the best executed plan we ever had.
16.
This is the
16
in
will hit.
fairness, this is the only plan we've ever
It's
had.
the only plan
This
you've
is
ever
true.
had. 16
So I was
is
a
So
hit,
you're
yeah.
not wrong.
Oof, 9.
9, okay.
9
So it
points.
smashes
Nice.
into this creature. Okay.
And then he's going to get up to the next floor.
Okay. So he's
Imagine
now...
he's holding the trapdoor open going, come on, come on.
Right, so he's on the next floor. Just remind me of that if I attempt to target anybody. Okay. That is going to lead us to... that was Morthwheel. Silvo, the recently... He's not dead yet.
Deceased.
Silvo. Yes. What about you, Silvo? Would you like
there's a fair amount of coughing and spluttering, and you think you hear him say, "Oh God, not again!" And he holds his hand out to the undead, the skeleton wizard, and casts firebolt.
Okay. Silvo, the mostly dead. Okay, go ahead and fire away.
Mostly dead. Will a 20, non-natural 20 hit?
At the wizard guy?
At the wizard guy.
Yes, hits for sure.
Good. Oh, great. 1. Fantastic. That couldn't have gone worse.
Okay.
Boink.
You see it's his beard is slightly singed.
Cool. He's warmer now, which is good. As a bonus action, I would like to telepathically speak to someone.
Okay.
I would like to telepathically speak to Sambalet. Because
How
I can
far-
speak to people 1 mile per charisma modifier.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
believe.
a long way. Okay.
Yeah, it is in a minute.
Okay.
Let me just double check that just to make sure I'm not trying to tweak it.
Sadly, you're a
you
mile
can
and a half
form-
away. Too far.
Yeah, mile point 1. You can form a telepathic connection between you. Blah 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 blah. You and the chosen creature can speak telepathically with each other while the two of you are within a number of miles of each other equal to your charisma modifier. So as long as he's within 3 miles, I can talk to him.
Okay.
Okay.
There's been a montage of him just running and then like taking a boat and then like trying everything he can to get out of range. Okay, so yes, he's definitely within a mile of you for sure.
Mrs. Ambler, I believe we have found your artifact. However, it may be difficult to bring to you. If you could meet us in the barracks, most appreciated. And with that, he can respond if he wishes.
So there's a moment and then, what do you mean the barracks? You didn't open the door, you fool, did you?
Yes, everything's taken care of. If you'd like to come and meet us in the barracks, we'll give you what you wanted.
Don't leave. And then he...
Okay.
Leave.
So,
Yes, leave.
Okay.
And
there's
with that, because I've not moved, I wish to move.
Yes, understandably.
To be fair, the three of us never heard that.
Nope.
Oh, you're
That's very
Silver.
true. Yep, that's very true. Right, so I'm going to move. Can I move through
Yes, you can
Brian
move through
and
them.
Waves?
Yes.
Excellent stuff.
So you
I
can
am
move through them
off
and
this
up and
floor.
onto that floor? Okay.
I'm off this floor completely.
All
so I'm going to put
right.
myself there so that you know. Can I say something as I'm walking past? Verbally, not telepathically?
If it's very quick.
Yeah. Sambalet's on his way. Let's go.
Okay. So he's there. So you're basically off the floor, this floor now. Morthwheel is off this floor now. Waves is still technically in between. Brine is up, but I don't think is quite off yet. This floor. So skeletons. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I bring it to the base of the stairs, and is going to attempt to attack you once, and that is an 18 to hit.
Of course it hits.
Of course it hits. Okay. The good news is only 3 points of damage, though.
Oh,
Slashing
wow.
damage.
Leaves me with 1. Wonderful.
No.
Welcome to the 1 point club.
Poor
1
Brian.
HP club.
Yeah.
Okay, 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. Okay, that's as far as that one's going to move. and that brings us to Waves. Who are you now? Are you doing anything first, Waves? Or are you just like, are you like shooting and exiting, or are you just getting the hell out of?
We now have the problem that Brian cannot move away without an attack of opportunity.
Brian could technically disengage 5 feet and then could move again. So as long as Brian does nothing else but that, Brian won't get attacked with an attack of opportunity.
Run.
Okay, let's do the traditional thing and shoot the sorcerer skeleton and run for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
15.
15 will hit.
7.
Okay. Strikes again, and you can see it's starting to look kind of messed up. The beard looks somewhat askew. You know, the hat, which was once at a jaunty angle, has slipped down slightly over its skull, and it's starting to look a little bit hurt for sure. And then you're bugging out, right? Then you're out. Okay.
That was the plan. I follow the plan.
All right, that leads us to Brian. So yes, Brian, if you wish to, I mean, you could obviously either attack and try to kill this thing off and move, or if you just disengage, that's 5 feet, and then move up the stairs, you could do all that. If you wanted.
I am 100% going to bravely run away.
Okay.
So I'm going to disengage and hoof it upstairs. Like, lock the door on the way out.
Okay. So what I'm going to do here is...
Every time one of us has come up the stairs, is that thing playing again? Like, welcome to your
every
doom.
time. It's one of those things where it's like we go through, it's like, what? It's just like, welcome, welcome. That type of thing.
One thing that I would ask, like holding my hands up, last time this affected me, I failed my wisdom saving throw and I was feared.
No, it doesn't matter. If you were as long as you've either been affected or succeeded again, in saving against, or were affected by it, once you've heard it once, it's not going to have this effect on you again for a certain period of time. And you have
okay. No, that's I just wanted to double check just for like.
No, I appreciate that, but all right, I'm going to bring all of you then as Brian passes to this other floor. So we're going to bring you right to here. No, I got you already, Saber.
Oh.
There's 2 of you.
I'm just getting my twin ready for if I die.
Yeah, that's fine. You want it?
Great, we've got an undead and a doppelganger.
It's just a mirror image.
Okay. There we go, and I will... let's see. I got that. That's good. Let me bring everyone else on chat up to there. So there we go. You are now on top, and that's going to lead us to, first of all, the wizard's turn. And so the wizard moves some indeterminate number of spaces, and you hear, "You cannot fathom what will happen." You hear from down below. But that's as far as it gets. It has nothing to target, and so that leads us to Morthwill.
Who jumps on the trapdoor, closing it,
slamming it. Okay. All right.
Trapdoor breaks.
I'm face down on the ground on top of the trapdoor.
So I'm going to pull us out of combat for a moment and out of initiative, and below you. Make sure that I got this here.
I mage hand on the trapdoor.
I aim
on
my
top of
crossbow
Morthwill.
Yep.
I aim my crossbow at Silvo.
I'm just like, whoa, easy. I can explain. I'm not dead, okay? I can explain. I mean, I'm not explaining right now, but I can explain when we get out of here.
It's just, there's just silence here. And you do hear things moving below you, but you don't hear anything else, in terms of like, nothing tries to bash open the trapdoor or anything.
I think that went quite well.
Better than our last battle.
I mean, we're all still alive.
Yay!
Kind of scratches his arm a bit. Well, yeah, we're all still alive.
But you might know about that.
Yeah, I think you've got some explaining to do when we have a little bit more time to talk.
Oh, I promise. As soon as I get a strong drink in me and we're not in this horrible place, I will tell you everything there is to know.
And we're not poisoned. And we're not being murdered by Sam Ballard for leading him into a bunch of skeletons.
Pretty much, yeah. So,
none of ifs.
I will tell you everything. I look back over at Waves. I'm like, please stop pointing the crossbow at me. I won't hurt anyone. I promise. Look, I offer her my wrist. And I was like, got a pulse.
Okay, I check for a pulse.
There does seem to be a pulse.
I lower the crossbow, but I make kind of a movement.
I make like a finger gun.
Waves is not immune.
I think that went well, yeah. Do we hear anything downstairs? Like any sounds of combat or anything?
Originally, you're like, I think that's fine, and then all of you hear this, and Morthwill, the door below you, and actually, I guess Silvo and Morthwill are both kind of on top of the door, but more Morthwill, because Morthwill, that you feel the trap door growing warm, and then there is an eerie silence, and then Silvo, you hear in your head, that was very naughty, Silvo. And now, you need to be disciplined for your naughtiness. And that is where we will bring our session to a close for today. But next week, it's only a week away. You'll be able to find out what happens next. This, by the way,
told him we weren't prepared for a fight, and he was like, "No, you will go and fight. I will not give you time to rest." And now he's criticizing us.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so he gave you, in
these
fairness, he gave you 24 hours. I mean, that should be plenty of enough time. I will say, I do want to make one comment about, just very quickly, that I think the party did exactly what it should do for a fight like that, which is to use the terrain to your advantage. Like, in fairness, you took out, whatever, there were 6, right? You took out 4 skeletons, did a lot of damage to the wizard dude, and, like, so you did a lot of damage to them, taking only hits when that guy came into the fray. And, I should have also noted, Morthwill, that when you were getting hit by this, these were definitely flasks of acid. And you certainly have familiarity with this experience of having these things used as sort of like ranged attack weapons and things like that.
Is it Tasha's Caustic Brew by any chance? Because that is a spell that is known to me.
It's not a spell, but it appears to be something which definitely... This is the kind of way that an artificer would fight.
Or maybe an alchemist.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
In any case, something to think about. And now the party's got to work through that.
That was feeling winnable till the wizard showed up.
Right.
It was.
That's right.
Yeah.
But it's a lot better than if you had just walked into the room and had to deal with all those things around you. Like,
I'm really glad I decided to throw my light up stone in there before anyone moved.
Speaking of which, let's remember, Saber, that you don't have the light up stone until you get it back. Not that one anyway.
I can make another.
Just find another stone. It's fine.
It costs an action.
So very good stuff today. Let me start, as always, I'll start with Inanda. Inanda, I felt really bad about, again, the situation with Brian, and I want to re-emphasize that this is going to be a thing that happens a little bit at level 1. As you move up levels, you'll find less of it. Also, I do have to say that resistance to acid on the you got to use Genasi powers multiple times this session. There was the whole thing with breaking the lock with the water. There was the making it slippery. You actually slowed down one of the skeletons. Otherwise, that other one might have caught up to you because of the difficult terrain. So the Genasi power did absolutely get used for what that's worth. It may not feel like it, but that's been the situation that you just happen to have found yourself in. But you did not go down this time. You did not die. And you were doing a good job.
Brian helped.
Yeah, Brian helped. Well, you were also doing a good job of negotiating and everything else. There was a lot of that happening as well. So I think Brian had a very active, good session. But I felt bad because it's not singling you out. It's just you're the character that tends to be in front, that they're like, let's aim for that one that, looks dramatic with 2 scimitars, as opposed to Silvo, who's like, I'm going to duck behind a bed and, like occasionally emerge and throw something. How did you feel about today's session? Where will the folks find you next?
I love it every time we play. Brian is very spongy, much more spongy than she appears to be. It's partly why I was so keen to have a look round at least that one room, just in case there was any armor.
It was a good idea. It was a good idea. It's just they didn't have that. A lot of gold, though. A lot of money.
Well, we got some cash out of it, and as you say, Brian wasn't down today, which I think is possibly only the second session that we've done that hasn't happened.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Fairly
So progress.
Progress, yeah.
Listen, session 0.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
But no, I'm loving the campaign. I like the fact that we actually formed a fairly feasible plan at the start of that fight, and we didn't do too badly.
No, it was a good plan.
I mean, I'm still down to 1 hit point, but hey, I mean, it's 1 more than I had last session.
True.
Loving it.
And they will find you where next time, Ananda? Besides here, I mean.
Where am I? When am I next going to be here?
Yeah, well, or just streaming on your own channel, etc. Like that sort of thing.
I've got like a full month at the moment. I'll be streaming on my own channel tomorrow and for the rest of the week. Tomorrow is Mass Effect 3. Thursday is Valheim. Friday is Community Day. Saturday I'll be over here playing Fallout New Vegas. Sunday is GOG Showdown. And then rinse and repeat.
So there's a lot going on. You folks will not want to miss it. Good stuff, Ananda. Thank you. As always, a pleasure. Also, and of course, you will see Ananda with the rest of this crew next week. With moving right up on the line, Mike, we got to see some good stuff out of Silvo. Silvo obviously had good moments of, first of all, in combat was able to do some good stuff, but some excellent RP going on with both Sabalette and being able to communicate to the general crew, like what he was feeling. And then that nice little moment with you and Waves, where Waves was just like, all right, we're going to talk right now, because that moment of you like coming back from the whole like, you're hit and then this happens, which is why I wanted you to do the flavor text, because I want them to be able to see, your own character going through this, and they got to see it up close and personal as the mystery around Silvo deepened. So there were a lot of really good moments, I think, to sort of show what Silvo is like, and it's a fun character to watch unfold, and it seems like it's a fun character to play. How'd you feel about today? Where will the fine folks find you next?
I absolutely adore today. I adore these sessions. I adore the talisman sessions, any tabletop stuff. I just absolutely adore it. I think I'm leaning into Silvo a lot more now. I'm doing like Instagram reels and cosplaying and stuff like that. I'm really getting into that character, and just some of the little facets of the mystery around him, like just some punk kid from the streets of Saltmarsh, right? But also magic and potentially undead and stuff like this, weird moving tattoo, who knows. I'm very much I already want to play again. Like I'm just like, when is next week?
Only I know it's week, like, is it Tuesday yet, right?
Exactly, right. Over the next 7 days, I will be trying to stream on my own channel, so you can follow me at Peripheral Mike. I will be at some point this month playing Resident Evil 7 on PSVR, because I hate myself and headphone users. And also, if I get chances to do any D&D streams, I'll be creating new characters for D&D. Not specifically because I think Silvo is going to die, but just because it's something I really enjoy. So yeah, you can check that out on my Twitch channel.
Awesome. I am very excited to see that. Thank you, Mike. Great stuff as always. Saber, really good stuff today out of Morthwheel as well. First of all, Morthwheel I really think is beginning to establish himself as kind of this one that doesn't want to put up with crap. He is a lawful character, as you pointed out, which is a big change, obviously, from Celsig. But Morthwheel also is a character that's sort of thought through plans and everything else, and your local knowledge of things meant that you could kind of get a sense of, for example, the Viper Sisters, so you could semi-confirm, Silvo, and other things about like, well, I don't remember seeing this in town for the however many years that I've been there or whatever. So we got a chance to see, again, different aspects of Morthwheel's background, his recent past anyway, kind of emerging to the surface. And I was interested to see, you used to throwing things versus something else now that's throwing things. And there was kind of I've seen that before. I see you read the same magazines. There's a little bit of that that was going on also. And you did the right call in continuing with the plan that all the 4 of you had set up, which turned out to be pretty important ultimately. How did you feel about today's session? Where will the fine folks find you next?
So it's again a lot of fun. It was great fun actually being able to break out the carpenter's tools. It's like, hang on,
that barricade,
that's actually relevant.
Yep.
This thing that's almost like you look at it on your item list and it's just like, it's just a flavor thing that the character can do, and it's like, wait, wooden beds,
no, you needed
table,
that.
narrow
right.
passageway,
yep.
Light bulb moment. So that was good.
Yep.
Not so good how quickly they got through the barricades.
They are strong.
Yeah, yep. that was.
It would have been a lot worse if you hadn't done it that way. I'll just tell you that right now.
Yeah, I think I'm glad we definitely bought us enough time to get up the stairs and for Silvo to call in some backup, which there's going to be an argument next session, depending on how that goes, because I think him going, that's naughty, is BS, although Silvo hasn't communicated that to
I was going to
yet.
say, only Silvo would have
That's
heard
player
that,
knowledge, not character knowledge.
Right.
Morthal may have some stern words for Mr. Big Shot Mage if he starts trying to throw his weight around after what he's done to us and put us under time pressure. But yeah, so I'm going to be back tomorrow. I haven't picked my game for GOG yet. I'm not that good at decision making the last few days, so it'll be something. I'll try and get it sorted in a timely fashion, but I don't know yet. Thursday, Friday, I'll be back on my own channel, possibly some SnowRunner, possibly some stuff on the PS5. I'm not sure yet. And then Saturdays, we're doing community multiplayer again, so it's probably more Phasmophobia, because that's getting all Halloween updates this month, which is all really good to see. It's a really good co-op game.
Awesome, good stuff.
So,
and
I so want a PC to play Phasmophobia with you. I really do.
Should do it, man. Enter the new generation of PC users. Also, Saber, good stuff on the Arkham, because I was lurking a little bit in Goggle. You're playing Arkham Knight. It was a lot of fun.
That won't be happening next Sunday, by the way, because of the showdown.
Right. That's
just for the benefit of everyone.
Showdown.
Yes.
It's going to be awesome. Thank you, Saber. Good stuff today. And last but certainly not least, and thank you again for Dashboard and Moobot as always. Last but certainly not least, Pyron. Waves, I thought, had some really good moments too. First of all, Waves was, as usual, dealing out the serious damage in combat. From an RP point of view, I love the idea that Waves was like, can we just go into the damn door? And then finally, the door gets opened. And I thought that you had a very nice RP moment in your reaction to Silvo, because it's very much something which a paladin is going to be like, WTF, right? Like maybe an artificer will kind of sort of understand, well, you got to sort of look at these things broad-mindedly, even if you are lawful good. And Brian as a pirate is probably not going to be, I'm not saying that Brian's like, yay, but I imagine Brian's not going to be like that. But for Waves, I can imagine Waves like is, yo, what the hell is this? Because you were already worried a little bit about Silvo. So that was a nice moment on all counts. I'm going to be interested to see how that develops over time. How did you feel about today's session? Where will the folks find you next?
I love these sessions and I love all of you, and I was already looking forward to Tuesday. And my internet didn't cut out this time.
No, it didn't. It was perfect. You got to do your whole thing, and it all worked.
Yeah. And the people are going to see me again this Thursday with a stream of something. If I can't come up with anything, I'll continue Morrowind Unarmed. And I would also like to, again, point to our GOG showdown on Sunday at 6 p.m. UTC, which is 7 p.m. BST, 8 p.m. CEST, and something in the afternoon for the people on the East Coast of the US. You will have to look it up, which will be our Halloween showdown. So all the questions will be horror game themed, which is awesome. We will also have two teams competing there, Team Light versus Team Darkness, and there are going to be some consequences for our Halloween streams depending on which team wins. And we're also looking into having chat maybe help with the result of that. And then we're going to start Halloween week on, this is like the kickoff for Halloween week. And we're also going to have then, of course, our GOG.com Witch Halloween bot, again, GOG.com Twitch, GOG.com Witch, I still find it so funny. Bot again, which will give our game codes for the whole week, and of course also, so that's the treat, and we'll also give out tricks, and we're going to celebrate Halloween awesomely like we do every year.
That's good stuff. That a lot of that is thanks to the tireless work of a lot of people behind the scenes, but Pyron spearheads that, obviously, and we are all very appreciative, as always, of Pyron Jade, who is awesome. This whole party is awesome. I am super pleased with how they've been playing through it, and I think we've established the potential deadliness of a campaign like this, but I think also as more develops, this isn't all going to be combat heavy. In fact, more RP is going to come in more and more as time progresses. So I'm looking forward to that as well, and finding out with all of you even more about these characters and players. Chat, can we get some love for the amazing GOG stream team doing D&D with GOG? As always, Pyron Jade, Darksaber2K, Peripheral Mike, and Inanda. Thank you all so much. I will see you next week for this. Bye for now, folks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
That, folks, is going to do it for me as well, because I have got to get cruising here with some stuff. I have a meeting that I have to go to. I will, however, be back on my own channel tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern, when I'm going to be playing a cool, like weird indie game, I guess I would say, which is called Wide Ocean Big Jacket, with my voice team called the Our Vocalists. So if you're interested in that, you should consider checking that out. That would be lovely. And I will be doing that. And then I'm going to, once that game's over, I'm going to be doing some grading and watching the replay of the American League Championship Series. Go Red Sox. And thanks to all of you, chat, for being awesome and for doing great work today as being the awesome chat that you are. If you like what you saw and heard, please follow us on GOG. Please subscribe to us here on GOG. Please click through and check out our individual subscriptions and Patreon systems as well. I'll be back, as I say, on my channel tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, so definitely stop by there. Otherwise, I think that we're done on GOG tonight, if I'm not mistaken. I believe. Yes, so we are not actually going to be back. Lore Witchy will be back tomorrow with Not For Broadcast in about 14 hours, so you'll definitely want to stop by for that. But that's it for now. I'm going to rise up on out of here. Thank you all so much, and a special thanks today to my wonderful players, again, Pyron, Darksaber2K, Ananda, and Peripheral Mike, for their wonderful work. And that's going to be it for now. Much love to all of you, and I will see you folks soon. Until next time, be good to each other. Bye for now.